Away!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Critscast for some RSL Highlander as Asia Season 8 Grand Finals is here. Ambulas versus Daybreak tonight. My name's Godfather, joined by Luggnuts on the mic. Would you like to run us through these pick bands if we can get Core to bring those up on screen?
Yeah, so first map banned by Ambulas was Badwater, then Daybreak banned Steel. They lost that against Ambulas in their regular season match. Then Ambulas picked Vigil. Daybreak picked Product. Then Daybreak banned Warmtick, and then Ambulas picked Swiftwater.
Absolutely. We do have 17 on, but we believe we have a good idea of these rosters.
Of course, Ambulas did get to pick two of these maps. Like I've said, I don't really know at this stage if they really have favorites or if they're just strong in everything. But I mean, given that they picked two payload maps and Daybreak picked a Koth map, then I guess Daybreak is a bit more confident in their sort of DM output. So far, Ambulus has just been so ridiculously dominant, just sweeping over any opposition they've had so far, and not just this season, the last season as well, and the one before that. So, I mean, I don't think things are looking too great for Daybreak, at the very least for the first map for Vigil. I think if we do see anything get interesting and get close, it'll probably be on Product.
There's a couple of ways that you can support us here directly on Critscast. If you want to connect with us, certainly go ahead and join that Discord server. A lot of great stuff going on in there. And follow us on Twitter so you can keep up to date with everything going on in the community. Then, last but not least, go check out the merch because there's some really good merch. I don't know. I check out the merch once in a while and I'm always just blown away by how cool it is. And then if you're feeling like you want to give a little bit more direct support, go ahead and check out the Patreon. Who's starting out on blue here?
Looks like that is Ambulus.
Alrighty, yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to have the alt tab to go check. Yeah, and there you go. We're not getting baited this time. As teams have readied up, the doors are gonna open in just over a minute here for Ambulance to take their first offense. We'll see how the setup goes down for Daybreak in this Grand Finals matchup here, Season 9 of RSL Asia Highlander. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, we see the engineer doing the Eureka effect rollout, as has become standard. And just a really sort of standard setup, standard hold for Daybreak here, you know, just behind this fence. Nothing too creative, nothing too surprising at the moment. At this stage, you know, both these teams should be experienced enough to crack this as they want.
Have a bit of a... and it's Ambulance on defense. We had that backwards, but now it is corrected.
Wait, so hang on, then Kaleido... Oh, no, so Kaleido must have been on Ambulance in previous season.
Yes. So, yeah, Kaleido has swapped teams around a couple times, but he is looking to repeat, has never lost a season of this league, but the gates are open. Sniper's looking for picks, spam being exchanged. There's a bit of a schadenfreude moment around the engineer early. First to die though is the red demo, a very big pick to open things up from Krankle.
Yeah, especially because he has shown his dominance previously. We'll see how he goes this match, you know, if he manages to stay alive from those picks. But yeah, like I said, keep an eye on these spies, because so far Krankle still has not gone down and has been successfully harassing the defenders.
That gun taken out will likely mean backing out. The spy in the backline right now will be looking for a play, but oh, how did he not get caught? There he goes, getting caught out now. And that'll be 2 down on the offense. Still losing your soldier on defense. Oh, look at this shred though. They get that cart pretty far forward and they're dropping players like flies. It's only Sedna dying for that and finding 5 in exchange. This blue team keeping their aggression though. They're actually going to pop this Uber on first, not something you see too often on NA servers, but perhaps the strategy to try to bust through that point early on. That's 1 point in 1 minute. We'll see the second hold coming through in a moment.
Pretty impressive there for Ambulance to kind of, even though that gun went down, they did sort of stay in there, kept contesting that card, forced that Uber out if Daybreak wanted to keep on going and push that point, and that's going to set them really well for the second hold here, as they will have not only a full Uber advantage, but they're, you know, quickly going to be able to get up their setup again with their guns and stuff, unless the spy comes and gets them.
Oh, he made him stall! Oh, hate to see it, and he's not even high ping. Unforgiven, speaking of the high ping, is on that right side. The snipers exchanging the SBS. Lisa will come out on top, beating, I believe their name is Piss, or P-I-S-C. Uber out for the red team, though, trying to rush forward. Can they chase down any players like the medic who's weak? That's Rag surfing away. At least their alias is Rag, and that's what I'll be calling them, because I forget their name already. But they live, and that's what counts, because they are now at 95% ready to crush over this hill. At least Sans heavy. Crankle decloaking, looking for the fire right now, bumps into him, steps the gun, and will likely go down here as Uber coming over hill. Pyro doing his best to stop it, but he's going to get flamed down by the opposing Pyro. This medic doing his best to kite away, but he can't, and down goes Rag, or Sub, I believe, actually, as my casting HUD is a bit messed up. But losing their medic on the other side of things. Actually, no, Sub died on red team, or Rag on the other side, losing the blue medic. It's still going to be a point for Daybreak, though.
Yeah, that was actually a really good play from them, getting forward, forcing another Uber before they had to use themselves. That's just a massive time save, given their position they were in after taking first. So as long as they can carry this on, they did catch out the Dem Man just there as well. So they're rolling in with Uber advantage as well. So this is actually a really good position for them to push this third point. As so far they've been excelling on this offense with only 2 minutes and 30 to cap the first 2 points.
Yeah, Unforgiven is trying to post up and get some damage out, but being peppered away by the sniper, who's forced back in turn by Naver on the flank. This flank going to do their best to kind of hold down that area. Oh, but very weak is that red soldier, has to run away if he's able to. Looks like he'll live with an arrow. And this cart just about getting to the base of the hill. 2 down for the offense, and now 3 as the spy comes in onto cart.
It doesn't quite look like they are like Daybreak are preparing that Uber charge to use. Looks like they're just going to treat it as evens, keep poking it, see how far they can get the cart forward. Which is
dead! That's a drop early on in this grand finals. Hate to see it out of Ambulas, but a good pick there by Daybreak. Didn't actually see who got it, I just saw the med die. And that'll be full Uber ad now for the defending team. This cart kind of working his way up the hill, Senna missing a stab, has to escape with a nice surf.
It's again setting up into a pretty good position for the defense here on Ambulas, because they do have, again, a full Uber advantage and a sentry gun. We have seen Daybreak crack this position once before, so we'll see how exactly they manage to do it on this point. This point is a really hard one to do, though. Sincere in the back.
Uber out. That's a big force to find there, and there's no medic to kind of rush at. Rag playing very safe right now. Sniper losing the SVS on the defense means a lot of space being made, although Sedna comes right back and finds the counter pick with a nice little butter knife there. Good job evening the sniper situation. Sequence down on offense. No demo, can't spam as well, but still great point presence right now. Sedna getting a stab, and this Pyro moving forward as well. But look at this heavy, he's getting so much damage in. You gotta peek this properly. It looks like Sincere's gonna back off. Didn't expect him to do that. I felt like he could have just kept bullying his way forward, but maybe he knew something I didn't.
Yeah, Car was close, but these teams... Oh, that's what he knew. They had the Uber and they were waiting for the spawn.
This gun doing so much work as the Pyro point on there. Rag goes down for the traps, and she's gonna come in and cap this. This here is very weak. Oh, I hate to see it for the engineer as the rest of the team is collapsing. Sub all alone getting out. Lisa dying. And Cody looks like they're dying as well. Don't like to see it for the defense. Daybreak gonna be in a tough spot to sit up here on last. It's sub 5 through 3. Great opening time for Ambulas.
One thing they do have on their side though is a full Uber advantage. Heavy does go down to the spy, however, so that's going to make it harder for them to actually set up here, even with this Uber advantage. But so far it just looks like Daybreak are happy just pulling back, poking it as they wish, and letting Ambulance kind of take a little bit more space here. Engineer's on mini sentries though.
He's just swapped off though, realizing that there was a reprieve in the onslaught. That spy going forward, just going to find the gun sap and live. That's the Uber expended though by the red team. They didn't find anything with it, so it's now 75 head for Ambulas.
Yeah, so far Daybreak's been really... Oh, I think I might have gotten things wrong again. Is Ambulance the defending or offending team? Okay, so Ambulance is on the defense. Thank you, Cole, for the heads up.
Oh,
so yeah,
I just reached it twice, my bad.
So far, Daybreak have shown the ability to basically get that Uber out whenever they want, and always come into these pushes with Uber, which they're doing again as they've used it now.
And yeah, Uber is in right now. Heavy is targeting pipes, but everything missing onto Unforgiven as he's so laggy. But He will go down eventually here. Ghosty doing his best. This medic now left to die as Ghosty dies in the cart. Now the Spy, the only one there. And this cap will come through now. That's 4 points in 6:34. Great opening time. I realized that I re-execed my casting binds, and that swapped my team names around in my head, so, or on my HUD. But there you go. That's the opening time set.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really strong performance out of Daybreak there, especially against a team like Ambulas. Maybe Kaleido did choose right after all. I mean, sure enough, that offense was incredible from Daybreak, just how they were able to get out that Uber every single time they needed to. At no stage in it, even though they had to expend Uber to get points in pretty bad situations, they were able to turn that into just another advantage situation for them just by getting that Uber force whenever they sent players forward, and that just allowed them to keep that momentum up, keep going. And honestly, if you'd taken this at any time in the second point or the third point, I would have told you this would be a much longer time if it got there at all. But I mean, Daybreak have been surprising on every single point they've been pushing so far.
Yeah, definitely playing well. Look at this setup that Daybreak now on defense is going for. They are playing Cliff. This is some this is some old strats from when North America first started seeing Vigil. You would play on the Cliff side here with your gun and combo. See how it works as this gate opens. Demo jumping forward early, just barely living, down to 9 health from a sniper shot. Will be able to kite back and find some heals. Lisa is in spawn now. Go to peek forward a little bit farther, and Ambulas start things off a little slow. Here's a bomb coming in from the soldier though. The demo exchange with some spam. The sniper is dead. Defense. Medic staying alive in the corner. The Uber is forced out. Heavy gets popped on. And that's a great sack wave, opening things up for Ambulas.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to now force Daybreak to get out of this corner if they want to sort of keep their medic alive, because just one good Uber out of Ambulance here will completely crush them in here as they won't be able to pull out. Does look like they are trying to get out now. The engineer has pulled the gun back and they're sort of rotating up to that second point, which should equal a clean cap for Ambulance.
Sub is down though. No offensive medic. That's a drop. Second one we've seen today. Unforgiven dying on offense as well. Was that a reflect onto the scout? Hate to see it for him. The sap coming in onto the gun, but there's not going to be any coordination. A little bit of spam from Pyro doing his best and succeeding in keeping that gun alive. Daybreak will hold on to this cliff side a little bit longer. Not going for as much of a soft hold as a hard hold on cliff. Oh, that's one off the map. No.
Oh man, Sniper getting sent off the edge and Soldier getting reflected killed as well. This is a really good hold from Daybreak so far. They still have the gun in that forward spot and they have Uber advantage again.
Yeah, that gun, I don't think has gone down yet. The Pyro just doing so much work. Has to get some more ammo from the dispenser though. Flank hanging around that drop down area, jumping forward now, taking out some players on Cliff. The gun down, but they're not backing out. And this teleporter just getting sapped now. That's an excellent Uber. Expended now onto cart. Demo Man doing his best to get some players down. Unforgiven is spamming, but he can't shoot shiny players. Here, whips out the bottle, but his heavy comes through before and finds that frag. Now the medic all alone. Frag has to escape over Cliff, but he's going to be dueling a scout, and it's not going to go too well. Oh, Golden Cavalry arrives just in time. Frag will live. And it will be about even Ubers.
It's disastrous for Sub there. Just as that Uber came out from the side of Daybreak, he got dropped by Crankle on the Spy. And that's now just going to be brutal for this hold, except they've killed all the players. So even though the mid does survive and does manage to get sort of somewhat even Uber...
Oh, they're spawn camping. Yeah, they're out to third on the side of Daybreak. They're happy with their first holds. And they're not going to bother. That Spy's in behind. Sedna wants to make a play, but the Pyro checking for him right now.
I mean, they should be pretty happy with that. Even though they didn't manage to get any second hold off there, which is tragic given they did manage to keep their medic up, they will be able to get the third. Given just how long they held into their first point, it's still a pretty good time for the defense.
Yeah, with such a fast offense, they can really just choose to hold 1 or 2 points, or 2 or 3 points really hard here and probably get away with it. See a soldier jumping forward for the offense and failing to find anything but a respawn timer there. As this cart rounding the corner and getting absolutely blown up. Demo Man finding a frag on cart.
Yeah, this is now looking in a pretty decent situation considering that Ambulas so far hasn't shown the ability to force that Uber out just as much as Daybreak have. So if Daybreak can just continue holding this, keep holding this Uber, then I mean they've got a pretty good track record once they've gotten set up.
Unforgiven with a laggy, heavy, able to gun down a scout. wasn't really expecting that much damage. Ubers are even. This cliff rotation, not very successful yet. They have to find that sniper pick. Lisa, we'll find Kaleido instead. No defensive NG. Uber popped out by both teams. Pyro's going to be stopping this pretty well, I think, though. That Demo not finding the gun either. So a failed Uber push, but finding a couple of frags will likely be able to cap this if they play the cards right.
Yeah, they are going forward with it. Just all the players sitting around card. Demoman stays alive just to get even more damage out and keep pushing this forward. It looks like they're going to get it over the card, over the tracks, even though they didn't succeed that Uber push, really.
Oh, if someone touches this, it goes in, but also this defense could continue if they are able to find a pick or two. This Pyro very weak on the cart right now. Coming forward, they're going to cap it. And this medic in a risky situation, backing out over these tracks, losing their scout defensively, and Demo and Engie as well. That's a 15-second respawn time for this last hold. We're 2 minutes to cap last. Ambulas looking pretty good here.
That point could have gone either way, and I'm pretty sure if Daybreak get this, if Daybreak fail to defend this, then that's going to be the point that they're kicking themselves over. Because so far, no gun, no engineer setup, and even Uber's here mean all the momentum is on the side of Ambulance.
Uber is popped out, blue first, but popping right back will be the defense. Again, just a solo Pyro, but he's getting a good drop on the Uber. Might go down here, he will. But a couple of frags found onto the offense as Sub dying to the Pyro, able to just WM1 in, and everything falling apart for offense. Only 2 down for defense.
That was a really crucial fight there, and Ambulance did win it, which is going to give them a really good chance of... Sorry, Daybreak won it. Just going to give them a good chance of holding this one against the Ambulance offense, because they have a slight Uber advantage on the defending side, and they're going to start getting set up now with a level 1 gun. So this is now harder than ever for Ambulance to push through, and less than a minute left to get that card over.
Yeah, I think HUD on stream might have team names backwards right now. It is Ambulas pushing. I just triple checked while you were talking. As they are walking around onto the flank, it looks like right now. Going to send their spy behind, but Demo trying to get a good spam angle if possible. Lisa peeking big door. Snipe medic, you can't peek that box any further than you are right now. But it's not looking too good. Setting those pipes down. The flank coming forward. Now they're going to pick up Ghosty. Lose Franco for it, but that is worthwhile as the Uber is forced out. Now popping back will be the defense, keeping their medic alive. Bit of a juggle happening as this heavy gets bullied in the corner and does go down. As the Engie also falling, and they just need to find a couple more frags on defense, and they do as Sub and Co all go down. Ghosty and Lisa are the only ones alive at the end of this fight, and looks like Ghosty's gonna die as well. Yeah, late death on the Demo. Maybe a late death on the Sniper as well. That's basically a team wipe, and Daybreak will hold them off for the first round here.
And that right there is the first round that Ambulance has lost since June last year. So, I mean, pretty impressive showing for them. Looks like they're not going to wait at all and just immediately going to start reading up for the next round.
Yeah, I mean, if you're confident and you think that was just a bit of a fluke, then might as well go right into it. And with Ghosty, Unforgiven, Sub, and Co on blue, they're looking to set a pretty good time here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely so far, they sort of, this is one of the things with best of 3 is that they have just lost their offense, but they get to try it all over again. They can identify where they went wrong, you know, where they kind of screwed up things. They did stick a little bit on the first point. Took a uber too many to try to break that last hold as well. So sort of nailing down those issues and getting them sorted out just immediately between these rounds in the setup time is what can get them to finally win this.
I'm moving this.
For sure, it's going to be the cliff hold yet again. Worked maybe a little too well last round, so we'll see if Ambulas is able to break through Kaleido and Daybreak defense. 10 seconds left to go. What do you think? Sackwave, try to get the Uber out early?
Yeah, I think that now that they know that they're going to be holding back there, yeah, Ghosty does look to be going forward, getting some more spam, but I reckon they're just going to try to take this Uber through after sending in the soldier for the sniper.
For sure. Really weird. Oh, Crank going for a play here, doesn't find anything. His scout also dying. You never see Ubers expended on first on Vigil in North America. It's a very strange thing. As both pick classes are down for the defense, that is something they were looking for, as you mentioned. So now, a bit of a free peek for everybody. That gun does get sapped, but immediately unsapped by the Pyro. who is very weak on the other side of things. Jazz dying in mid-air to the sniper. Nice shot by Lisa. This card getting some good time. No frags really for the defense quite yet.
This is exactly what I wanted to see out of Ambulus here, you know, the part about holding the side. Oh wait, Uber Days come out from the dim man onto the gun.
Yeah, they do pop this in, try to find as much as they can. It's a bit of a scattered defense, and Pyro doing his best to find some frag on the cliff. Now has to turn attention to the soldier who's jumping onto them right now. One more rocket will do it, and they do get the frag. Naver coming through to find that med kill post Scuba. Sub now staying alive on cart. Have to be careful. Krankle going for deep low in a moment. Oh, they hear it. And no stat for you. That'll be a bit of a slow first 119. 20 seconds behind last round's pace. Good debt there by Ghosty to pick up the Pyro, and Sincere also dead. Sequence very weak. Rag needs to... Nope, can't find the arrow in time. This might be backing out to third yet again for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, this is, so far, Ambulance has shown a really good ability to just roll this straight through. And I guess that's the problem with going for that cliff hold. You don't really have the time to pull out and hold that second point. I figured they thought it would be worth it, but what I saw from Ambulance there was kind of what I wanted to see in the first round, which is just abusing the problem of holding that cliffside area, which is basically no one preventing your team from walking all the way up the left side area on tracks. Just getting that cart so far forwards before you have to use.
2 points in 150, certainly a blazing time. Here's the Uber from the blue team. And Red doesn't have quite yet, they're edgy dead. Rag has to stay alive as long as possible to come back in with an Uber if needed, but it doesn't look like they'll have to. Blue did drop a couple, Unforgiven very weak, looking for heals. And now will be big ad for the defense. If they do get forced out here, they need to come in and find that medic kill as soon as possible.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good that they've lost a lot of players. There's only 3 of them up and the gun. So now it's just prime time.
This Pyro not in a good spot to find Sub already out. The Heavy doing his best to output damage, but there's just nothing there for them, and now it's a free cap for Ambulas unless something terrible happens to Spy. Unable to find a frag, a couple of good deaths there, and some frags found by the scout, but again, Sub staying alive means big Uber here. Oh, Sub almost goes down, he needs to be botted at by the scout, and he finds the frag, it's very weak! Oh no, he doesn't get it, Unforgiven despite the ping. Able to protect his med. It's 326, he's gotten up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the more ping he gets, the more confident he is. This is insane. I mean, that was just the perfect situation for Ambulance.
Oh.
As long as he doesn't die, they do use the Uber.
Yeah, he doesn't die, and that's the Uber popped in. Rag doing his best to escape, and will be able to. Unforgiven is gunned down by the Heavy, actually finding 5 years Sincere before dying to some fights from Ghosty. But the crucial classes of Rag, the Sniper, and Kaleido on Engineer stay up. Might be able to hold this. 323 through 3 is a blazing fast time. Here's a Soldier Bomb trying to spam out early. Senna also in on that Ghosty. Very weak right now. Doesn't get body shot, but will eat a rocket and die in the end. Here's a bomb from the Soldier. Gets immediately denied twice there by the Pyro. Good job keeping his combo alive, and a bit of a reset coming forward, or coming in here. Defense may be able to set up.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a better situation for them. They do have a level 1 sentry, not really getting damn much higher at this stage, but it looks like by the time there's enough Uber on the side of Ambulance to push this, they will be able to get a decent hold set up. At least the spike goes huge, doesn't look like it though.
Yeah, here's the Uber from the blue team, and Red pops back in time, not dropping too many players. They do lose their Pyro, so not as much stuffing happening. And Demo wants to get too aggressive here. No, go down sequence. Down to 16 health right now, looking for heals in the late fight. Sub hitting some arrows, but won't be enough to keep the Heavy alive. And has to back off to the rest of the combo. Teleporter pretty powerful here to keep players flooding forward on offense. 8:31 remaining. This has been certainly a bit more stable of a hold, but oh, that's a misplay. The Pyro didn't extinguish the Demo. Sequence is down, as are 3 others from defense.
And usually Ambulance hasn't really been so successful pushing this, but they have just decided to bully their way through it in the post-fight anyway. And he'll get it too. And
yeah, I don't know, he gets 2, makes that 3 total, and the Pyro is the perfect distraction.
Yeah, I mean, clearly enough. Ambulance's post-fights have been actually really, really effective right now, but now they will have Uber again, so it's going to see another Uber trade coming in any second.
That level 2 gun now up. Uber pops out early from blue. Demo doing his best to spam it. The gun's about half health right now. Not popping back yet. He's fragged. Diddy's reflex set on point, but the cart is very close right now. The spy doing his best, but he can't get in time. And that'll be just barely held onto by Daybreak's defense.
This could be a really good
post
fight
soldier,
now.
soldier! Oh, so close. The Demo trying to spam it out as best he can. Someone just needs to touch, honestly. Send anyone in, as long as they don't die too soon, which might be the case, but the NG gets in 4 points in 6 minutes. Another fast time here.
Yeah, I mean, even though Ambulas sort of isn't rolling forward on these Zebra exchanges like we saw Daybreak doing, they are just getting a lot of ground covered in the post fights. They never let up that pressure after the Ubers have been exchanged. And we saw it on the first point, even though they had not really the best trade going up to break this cliff hold, they did get a lot of success afterwards in the post fight. And we saw that as well on third and on last. So while probably their weakest link at the moment is getting a lot of ground during the Ubers, they're making up for it definitely in the post fight.
Yeah, post fights have certainly been strong, as you just mentioned. Now, gonna have to see the offense from, it'll be which
should
team
be
on
Daybreak.
offense. I'm pretty yeah, it should be Daybreak on offense. I'm pretty sure my HUD's a little broken right now, because it is not letting me change my team name.
Lovely. Yeah, no, Daybreak should be on offenses this time. Now, we've seen them really able to sort of determine the Uber advantages, use the Uber whenever they want, and then just get it again while forcing the enemy. But this time they're facing something that's not a cliff hold, so we'll see just how effective they are caping.
Yeah, not a cliff hold. This is something more traditional that you see in North America. That spy didn't see the soldier, I don't think. Now in position is Naver if he wants to go in for a bomb onto Crag. Here he is jumping forward right now. One rocket is going to land. He misses the second, and the Uber forced out. Beautiful play. And now it's full ad for defense here. They might just want to back out the second as that gun goes down. Very aggressive demo man might get caught. Joe needs to hit a shot, and it'll be Unforgiven who finally peppers him down out to second. And we'll see a second hold for the first time in a fair bit of time now.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a situation that looks really badly for Daybreak, but they've shown us to be able to force the Uber basically whenever they want it so far. So unless Ambulas has sort of patched up their defense anyway, then we should see Daybreak going forward with a pretty successful sack here before getting their own Uber advantage and cracking this point.
Well, they do pick off Ghosty early, so there's no demo for the defense, and a lot of spam being sent forward by the opposition as Sequence is able to just lob over the hill. Here's the Uber coming in onto the Pyro primarily. Rag is just not anywhere near, though. That will mean Uber advantage right back in favor of the offense. As Demo jumps forward to see if there's anything to clean up in the post fight. The cart has gotten pretty close to that point.
I mean, this is exactly what I was expecting to see out of them, because now they're in a really good position to push. They've got all their players up in just a couple of seconds, and a full Uber advantage to crack this point with, as well as a cart that's very close to going over, and only a level 1 sentry gun to contend with.
Yeah, only level 1 is pretty hard to hold on to second with. And here's the Uber. It's going to be side tunnel? Is this just getting stopped entirely by the Pyro? That's probably half the Uber gone before they're able to round the corner. Absolutely terrible so far, as there's not even too much time on cart. This is not looking good. The level 1, though, getting peppered down. And despite the failures on the push, this red team in a lot of trouble. Sop surfing away right now, but he's going to eat some more damage from downtown. Sequence picks up the med with 95% Uber. Should have just gotten out to third at that point.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those situations that's quite interesting to see how it played out, because Daybreak decided not to commit to that post-fight there once Ambulas rotated into their own spawn. Decided to pull back a little bit and rely on that cart pressure to sort of bring them forward. And then once Ambulas peaked out again, that's when they engaged their players forward. And that worked really well for their soldier going forward and picking up and their demo man to pick up that meta.
Yeah, pretty good plays there. This Heavy trying to gun down as much as he can from the low ground, but it's not going too well. That gun does get sapped, and the NG is not there, so gun will go down eventually as this cart starts to make the trek up the hill. Not finding any frags quite yet, except Lisa, who's on a 6K, will find the sniper battle and win that. Here's a Pyro jumping forward, and now the soldier looking to clean up the damage, but doesn't end up winning anything. And good position now for Daybreak to try to push their way up the hill. Full Uber to 70% on Ambulas' defense.
Yeah, Uber does come out now from both teams, I think. No, just out of Daybreak, and they're getting quite a lot of space with them.
Sub does escape into spawn. A lot of weak players on the blue team. They'll cap this third point. That is 2:30 left to cap this last one, and we've seen success with 2:30 left. Also, why is it that it's always 2 or 3 players only that live after third? Just get out a little bit faster, maybe. Have more success. Crankle looking for this kill onto the medic, but instead distracting for his soldier who comes in and gets the engineer. The gun falling as well. Crankle and Tragic will both go down for that. The Uber expended by the defense, which is getting stuffed by the Pyro. Sam very weak right now. He's going to back off the cart, and they're not going to find anything with this defensive Uber ad right back in favor of Daybreak. And there's really no threat to their Uber ad at this point.
Yeah, really, this is a peak situation out of that third. I was going to say just clear advantage for Daybreak, because even they were able to use that Uber to take that point, you know, just completely ignoring how they need Uber to take this last, because they knew they'd be able to get those players forward and force it out before they got their own Uber, and now 100% ad, uncontested Uber.
Coming right in with that Uber, doing their best. They find 2 early, but they've lost 1 or 2 here. Sincere and Jazzy are both gunned down, and the cart not quite close enough for that to be an effective Uber strategy. Just got to keep your demo and medic alive. Sub right now bleeding a bit, but will live to tell the tale. Rag actually dead as a huge bomb comes in from Naver. Picks up that medic, and ad now full for Ambulas' defense.
Time is getting a bit tighter from Daybreak. We have seen a faster cap so far from them. Their last time was set in 7 minutes. This time they only have 6 minutes to work with, and there's only 1 minute left. And a full Uber ad for Ambulas. But Daybreak, again, has shown to be able to get that Uber out basically when they want. So we should be seeing a force out of Ambulas relatively soon, and then a full Uber push, but the time is ticking quite low.
What if we see a drop come in from the sniper? That's an option, certainly. Picks up the engineer there. That's the, well, it's a mini sentry actually, so not too big of a find. But, they're taking their sweet time here, it seems, on the side of Daybreak. With 40 seconds left, these Ubers not quite even, still only 60% for the offense. They need to get in soon, though. Don't want it to be getting down too close to 0 seconds. Lisa will win the SVS again, though. And we're at 85, soon we'll have an Uber.
Yeah, now this isn't the situation we were expecting. You know, we were expecting a force to come out of Ambulas here. It's not going to happen. 16 seconds left. No time to pull anything fancy. Just an Uber exchange.
Just an Uber exchange, and it's just onto the demo. The scout has to run away from the damage from the mini sentry. Can't get onto cart right now. 5 seconds ticking down. Sedna ignoring the sniper. Instead, looking for players that are more of a threat to cart. Will likely gun down Rag as Joe comes in. Ambulas will hold on to the last point, and that is round number 2. But immediate ready up from Sedna.
Again, they just want to go right into it. They know what they've got to improve on. They know where they're going to sort of fix this. And it seems like they're pretty confident with this. This has honestly been a really close match so far. Not really what I was expecting, but Daybreak has been surprising yet again. Like, on every single push, they've been pulling something new out of it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, score is now 1-1. Daybreak takes the first round. Ambulas comes back, and it's best of 3 on payload. So, I mean, you mentioned takes a minute or 2 to get a push going with 9 people. We do see the ready up. Maybe it takes a little bit longer for Ambulas to get that push going with a 300 ping heavy. You gotta give it just a little extra wiggle room. Just like, okay, we're gonna go in a second here, and then have your heavy just go then. Have the coordination on point. But all memes aside, pushes have been pretty strong, I think, from Ambulas, other than that first round rather.
Yeah, I mean, we get to see Daybreak on the offense again, so they get another crack kind of seeing what exactly they're getting right in their offense. I mean, at this stage, their first and their second have been quite competent so far, and even their third was capped very quickly last time, because they've been able to use sort of early Ubers in positions where they'd want to previously hold on ad to make sure they get some points, which would, if they didn't, I guess, be up to the question of the Ambulance post-fight. So things are looking pretty decent for them until it gets to last, and at last is really where this is going to be decided. I think both these teams have so far shown to be very, very able to push things right through to the end.
Yeah, it's been pretty blazing fast times. Certainly an offense favored map, I think, as payloads go. Gates are open here for the final round of map number 1 in Season 8. Excuse me, I misspoke in the opener, but Season 8 Grand Finals for RSL Asia Highlander. First to die will be the Spy, dying to Sedna on the other side of things, a bit of a spy v spy action. Flank house fight happening, but it's not going to result in anything.
Yeah, just a good clean defense here from Ambulas, you know, set up in the normal spot, ready to pull out if they have to. Snipers and pick classes going at it, seeing what they might be able to get out of this. But at this stage, there's not really that much pressure apart from Lisa winning one joint.
Yep, Crankle in position, gets bullied around a bit, will get caught out by this Pyro. And guns out pretty quickly from sequence, so back up the second.
I mean,
no, what? No, what? No. Come on, don't do it again. They're just gonna die on hill too far forward.
They might be trying to... I thought they were going to try to pull off what they did the first round, where after the gun went down, they re-aggressed. Ooh, yes, very quick Uber.
Yeah, the defense actually having to pop first, keep that heavy alive. They're not finding too much on it. They don't have their pyro up yet. Still 10 seconds on that respawn, so I think they were popping to stay safe. Crankle's in position in the back line, wants to go onto the edge right now, but does get caught out. The sap comes through, will be removed fairly quickly, and Rag is playing down from downtown. Nice plays from Ghosty. Unforgiven actually coming in with a 3K out of nowhere as well, picks up the rest of the combo.
It was out of nowhere for the enemy team as well, because they were 300 milliseconds ahead of what he was playing at.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, we talked the power of the flank heavies. The enemy team thinks they escape, and then they're actually dead. Little did they know, Unforgiven had other ideas.
Yeah, we didn't see that. We saw like that attempt of the regress that Ambulance pulled off their very first time on the transition between first and second. Didn't work out too well. They got the exchange out. Now they have an 80% advantage because they did kill Rag or Song on the side of Daybreak. But so far Daybreak hasn't shown to be uncomfortable playing from an uber disadvantaged position.
Oh, he misses it again. The Pirates have been on point here, keeping their medics alive as best they can. A few misplays once in a while, but otherwise it's been good. Uber is full for the defense, 80% in a moment for Daybreak. So you drop a couple, and there's... I don't know exactly what they want to do. Maybe commit to tunnel here, even though they're down a couple. They don't have anybody to push cart.
Yeah, I mean, definitely does look like they are waiting for that Uber. We're not really seeing the same forces. Was that that was a spy headshot by the sniper?
Yeah, we just hear Corin in our ears say, "Oh my god!" So apparently that was a nice shot that was caught on stream. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. Sentinel's pretty deep right now in the back line. Lisa picking up their 6th and winning that SBS. Flight push coming in right now though. Demo popping in, but can't find anything. It'll be stopped yet again by the Pyro. Now alive in this fight. Don't want anyone overextending, as Blue Pyro will die. Oh, the Devil getting jumped! Ghosty gets fucked. Oh, I hate to see it, dude. Oh, Pyro in the air now. Almost dying to an air pipe there, but will stay alive. And down 2 on the defensive combo. Might be an opportunity for Rag to just say, go forward, team, and muster on through, but it looks like they'll back out, keep their medics safe.
Yeah, so far as these rounds are going on, it's looking worse and worse for Daybreak. The defense from Ambulance has just tightened up so much, they're not able to get these sacks through to get any forces. Lisa, however, is on a 7-kill streak. Really just winning these SVSs and just picking off all these other players whenever they really want to. So things are looking so good for the Ambulance defense right now, and Daybreak really need to shake something up.
Sedna just guns down the sniper at spawn, and we'll get the teleporter as well, certainly slowing down things on the respawn front. Flank coming in for the demo, unaware of where the Pyro is. Uber actually popped out as a result. Forced there by Red's 3rd class, and no pop coming in for the red team, so it'll be a full Uber ad and still good position for Red and Ambulas to try to hold this one a little bit longer. Lisa continuing to hit some frags. I don't think Blue Sniper has gotten a kill in the last 3 or 4 lives.
No, just getting shut down by that spy and that sniper from Ambulas. And this is part of when the sort of depression starts getting set in for the attacking team now, because even though there's only 56 seconds for the first point, they know that time has been ticking on and that things are just going to get a lot harder if they don't crack the point on the next push.
And Lisa will win the SDS again. I just feel bad for this Blue Sniper struggling so much to just get set up anywhere. Look at the aggression positioning for the red team. I think they want to take this one in as they play so aggressively. This medic is forced, juggled up into the air. Needs 2 rockets, and now right click comes through. Not going to be able to chase down this medic. So if there were ever a chance for Daybreak think it would be now, especially with the Demo and Soldier and now Heavy all down to the defense. Might be time for Ambulas to take their lead with the second point.
And that's one of those things that, yeah, that might seem a little bit hasty, a little bit too aggressive for Ambulance, but at the end of the day, they can really afford to do that. Doesn't quite get it. Yeah, I was watching that.
Oh no, Sub's going to be in trouble here as the Uber comes forward. Lisa is unstoppable with the 10K and escaping. It looks like, oh no, Lisa's trapped behind right now. This Demo is gunning for him. And will eventually find the frag. That is 540 through 2. We've seen 20 seconds to cap, or 20 seconds longer to cap a whole map. So Ambulas certainly having a good first and second hold so far.
Yeah, and this stage is a pretty brutal showing for Daybreak here. They've got to be able to crack these next few points, and bear in mind the Ambulas offense as well. Lisa dying on the 10 kill streak there, you know, wasn't an awful situation. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy with that one. So at this stage, it's just level 1 gun on third and see how well Daybreak can break it with Uber advantage.
Sedna almost finding the sniper again, but instead gets found out by the Demo Man, goes down. It's full full Uber for Daybreak, only 80% for Ambulas. They gotta go fast if they want to use this ad instead of just taking an exchange. I don't know if they've been counting properly now with 95. Nice snipe there for the blue sniper. Uber pops in. It's only a level 2 gun, immediately taken down. And so popping back will be red, looking for frags. They do drop their heavy, picking up 1 or 2 there, trying to chase down that pyro, but can't quite get him. No follow-up damage, as a couple do die. It's 4 down for the offense for this cart. Likely going to come through. It's so close yet again.
Yeah, Sentry Gun did go down there, so that is just a pretty quick tap over the cap for Daybreak, and that's going to force Ambulance to pull out to last. But really at this stage, I mean, they could completely flop this last push and still probably wouldn't feel too bad about it, because they did make up all the time they needed on that second. But this is the little bit of momentum that Daybreak really need to get things going and cap this with some semblance of a good time.
Yeah, if they're able to do this in a minute, maybe a minute and a half, it's technically feasible. You know, we've seen 2 pretty blazing fast times, so reversion to the mean would say maybe we have a little bit longer this round, and yeah, as long as that's not in the affecting the mental game, shouldn't be a problem. Here's the Uber from the blue team popping early around the corner. I think they feared some traps that didn't exist, and it gets entirely stopped by the combo of Ambulas. They only lose 1 and drop 3. Here's the bomb from the Soldier. Oh, he misses his last rocket and goes down. It was a bit flashy, but not as efficient as other bombs. And Lisa, right back onto the kill streak, has found 3 this life alone.
Yeah, Lisa getting the spy on the card as well. Luckily, Deadringer saves his life. He's going to be rotating back to spawn, see if he can get a pit onto the medic, which is exactly what they need. Gets it really close. Gets the pit on the sub. Oh man, I just saw him get headshot, Deadringer behind, and just perfect play from it.
Yeah, that's a great play coming forward from that spy, and now Frag has to be sure to stay alive. They're at 90% right now. Lisa dying means no defensive sniper. Finally here, Uber popped out onto the heavy first. Pyro and Demo getting some flashes, not finding too much with it, but it will be the cap for sure here, as even the entry crits won't hold this off. It's 4 points and 844. Pretty bad.
It's not the worst time I've seen on Vigil, for sure, but I mean, given how fast Ambulance has been pushing so far, I mean, the first round was their slowest ever push, and they just barely failed to get it through in 7 minutes, so... And they've just been looking stronger and stronger from then on. So at this stage, if I was Daybreak, I would be sweating, but... You know, it doesn't mean they don't have a chance here, especially given... If you take all their best defenses of every point and put them all together, then I'm pretty sure they've got that defense in there somewhere, enough to hold off the 8-minute 44 time at least.
Yeah, here's hoping we won't be seeing anything too crazy, I think, from this defense. Don't know exactly where the entry want to set this. Yeah, alright, it'll be a pretty standard hold coming forward. We haven't... well, I mean, we've seen success with the cliff hold. That worked, but... I think they want to play it a lot safer. It worked once, yeah, but that's one more time than I expected it to work.
Exactly, true enough. But yeah, I mean, it does look like
probably
Ambulance...
the opinion of the server. I don't think they expected that to happen.
Most likely, yeah. But I mean, given the fact that Ambulance did figure out how to crack that, at this stage they just want to make sure they can get that second hold, because so far Daybreak have not held second once.
Yeah, Ghosty immediately picked off there. I believe that was a bomb coming through, and the Wrangler too strong for a flying demolitions man. But yeah, I mean, it's first point, nothing too exciting should be happening as long as we don't see a drop or anything. It should be pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean...
that's a funny kill feed moment. Kaleido's gun takes down the dispenser of Cody.
You know, making sure he's got priority picks going. That's Lisa again losing that SVS to Piss there, so... You know, not
There's a bomb from the soldier right onto the sniper who's unaware because of the cozy camper. No flinching with that fully charged shot. They just don't care. Take their shot anyway and somehow stay alive. A couple of frags found by the defense as Ghosty and 3 others are dead. Sequence though is to a reflex pipe.
Yeah, gun has gone down, but it's been a minute so far for this first point, and the cart is close but not quite there yet, so I mean, this is a pretty decent first hold so far for Daybreak. They can afford to pull off this when they need to and start setting up the second, and hopefully they can try getting out a second as good as Ambulas did and have a serious chance of winning this.
The very aggressive sniper on the flank. It's deleted by Ghosty, and it's an Uber popped out here. Right back in though is defending Daybreak, coming forward with their combo. Unforgiven is gunned down, losing the heavy v heavy, and you know, popping that Uber. Oh wait, no, Sub dies to Crankle in the post.
Yikes, that's a really rough situation for them because now there's going to be an Uber advantage. Oh wait, no, that's a really rough situation for Ambulas there. They're going to have Uber disadvantage against Daybreak. Daybreak finally have their chance to get this hold properly set up. They've got the level 3 gun here. They have their Uber advantage. This is for them to try that 5-minute second hold like Ambulas pulled off and really whittle away this time.
Sedna is lurking in the background though. The defensive sniper down as well. Sedna come through with something big here. It doesn't look like they're quite ready. That's the soldier doing his best to just spam out and finds a little bit of damage. Sedna almost guns down Sincere, but will eat a sandwich to stay alive. This is very chaotic. Beastly going down. It's no offensive sniper. No one really committing though on offense.
Yeah, I mean, something, new lease of life into Clues or something, because Lisa hasn't really been able to get quite a lot done so far, hasn't been winning the SVSs maybe, hasn't been surviving too much, and has been down more than up so far. So, again, that's another minute off the clock for this defense on Daybreak. Now less than 6 minutes for Ambulas to make the push.
Less than 6 minutes. I think it's doable. Here's the Uber though. Pyro stuffing as always. It's a pretty standard Highlander Uber right now. Gotta make sure your medics stay alive in the post. We'll see the defensive Pyro going down as explosive class is jumping forward, getting the demo sub now all alone. Gets the sub but goes down. That's a 6k from Jazzy and a 5k from Sincere. I'm sure there's a couple other kill streaks going on for this defense of Daybreak. Pretty successful on second thus far.
Yeah, I mean, really successful. Clearly there was a really good idea to stop this sort of clip hold, go for that for the further back hold so they could cement their hold on second rather than betting it all on first. And it's paying off for them so hard now as they've now deflected 2 pushes and it's now down to 5 minutes. I mean, at this stage it's really looking like they could keep this hold going for a lot longer.
Bit of pressure being applied to Cart, but 155 gonna do his best to stop it. It looks like he will. Sincere picks up his 6th, and Jazzy dying ends that kill streak. Here's Sentinel watching it onto the medic. He's fairly weak right now. Gotta be careful. Actually, staying alive. Don't think he got too low. Was looking at someone else. 155. He's down to 12 health right now. Looks like he'll escape. I'm just waiting for, like, where's the overhill push? Like, do something. Come on.
Push finally comes in. The Ubers have been here.
Not finding too much there. It's just the Pyro's going to stop it every time. Sub in a bit of trouble though. Eats one rocket. Oh, narrowly avoids the full damage from the second, but now isn't in a position to heal. Looks like Bragg will meet up with their demo again, but so many frags were found even without the medic. Sub is down to 70 health and the rest of his team is down. Oh no! Cancel just comes in and guns him down. 2 clean revolver shots.
And I was just about to say about, you know, this time how things are looking for better for Ambulas because they got their medic out alive. Not the case. Crankle's on the job. Make sure it doesn't happen. And so much defense around Daybreak's own medic to sort of keep him alive and keep the super advantage.
Yeah, it was a good surf with that explosive damage coming forward, but oh, from behind is the soldier. Will find sequence. I thought the medic might be caught in that as well, but doesn't. Kaleido goes down. That gun also going to fall to the cart. Now approaching the hill. You got to choose where you're going to put your attention. Rag into trouble will go down to the Scout Joe. That's dying with 97% ad for Ambulance now. Ambulas, excuse me. And 320 left to cap this one out.
And maybe a little bit too much defense around the meta because they don't defend any of the flanks and let Ambulance just in to take complete control of that point. The medic dying there is going to give Uber advantage to Ambulance, and they weren't able to get out the engineer either. Rag just surviving barely the rocket spam. It looks like this point is already completely controlled by Ambulance.
Yeah, it's something we've seen a couple times here, with the offense just able to get so many frags and find so much space that the defending team has to just opt to go to last instead. And here they are once again. The Uber going to be popped early because the big ad still just at 50% of the defense. As Pyro needs to get hit with some hit scan. Where's the scout when you need him? Doesn't look like he's anywhere near. And Uber pretty lame, not finding too much. Here's a soldier trying to sack forward in the end, but Naver can't find anything with no space made by the combo on the Uber.
Pretty disastrous push there with Uber. That is going to be wasted. You're going to give Uber to the defense now, and they already have the level 2 sentry gun as well. So Daybreak has their opportunity to set this up properly. However, Ambulance does have the time to break this as there's 2 minutes left on the clock.
2 minutes, I think it's doable. Looking at Lisa to find an opening pick on the sniper, but and they do, they'll pick up the Pyro. That's 3 down on the defense. Despite the ad, might be in a bit of trouble if they need to go forward. Or if Ambulas decides to go forward, rather. Looks like they're going to do just that. This demo peeking the corner. Sincere will be able to cut them down, though. Ghosty is dead, as is Unforgiven. A couple of frags found by the Heavy as the Uber is expended. But Sub lives, has full Uber, 130 to make something happen here.
And the gun went down as well, so it's a really softened up defense for Ambulance to push. Minute 30 left, they do have to start picking their feet up here, but I mean, all it takes is one solid Uber push, and given how good Ambulance has been on the post fights as well, this is looking to be a good situation for them.
Yep, they pop it out, and Sub doesn't really know where the rest of his team is. Not too much pressure onto the cart, but this medic Rag alone in the corner. If anyone can get some explosives onto him, it will surely be a med death. Instead, the Spy and Pyro doing the best to tap the point. Sub coming forward. Where's the scout? Again, Joe needs to be in position here, but he's just not near the cap. And it's sub 60 left. 155 able to just harass the cart from behind.
Now we're going to have to see that Ambulance pressure they've been showing off so well, because they don't really have time to build up another Uber here, especially given the Uber defense, the full Uber advantage on the side of Daybreak. Looks like they are just going forward to try to get the car.
Yeah, you gotta rush at some point here. The cart's up the hill, but you can't let it roll back. Got about 15 seconds left before that happens. 4 down for the offense. Gun is dead as well, but where is the combo going? With 20 seconds left, they're going to rotate around to Red Room and try to come around this corner, but there's going to be a Pyro waiting for them, and I don't know if they'll be able to get anyone to cart, especially with 155. He's been able to hold down to that cliff. Uber pops out, but Red comes right back with it. The Engie and Scout is doing their best, but there's so many people on cart, everything's falling apart. Sub is going to go down here. It's only 3 alive for the offense. This demo in trouble dies, and it's just Naver, and that'll be a hold coming in for Daybreak, and they're going to win this map.
And I mean, I'm going to say player of the game there goes to Crankle, and they defended the cart so well there. But do remember as well, this was Ambulance's map pick. So Daybreak have just won that one, and now they're going to be able to go on to Product, which is their own map pick, and presumably something they're more comfortable with.
I'm sure the mental a bit against them. We do have some logs.
Yeah, I mean, Ghosty was pounding all that game. I was expecting to see some really large logs from him, but surprisingly enough, we have Sequence there, hopping not just the damage list, but the frag list as well. 56 kills. I mean, this is combined logs, so we can look at the DPM to be a little bit more accurate, but 540 DPM is very, very impressive. And combining that with the most kills on the server, I mean, Sequence was doing a lot of work for Daybreak. Yeah, and I mean, typically, honestly, these are some pretty crazy combined logs, because they are combined logs, so, you wouldn't see these in a regular round, but even then, this best of 3 was a lot closer than a lot of them I've seen so far. So if anything, this Koth will just be even more interesting. Koth has its own spawn rules, whoever has the point has those slower spawns, so you can really do quite a lot of strategic play here to really abuse any advantages you get and just roll up ahead quite viciously.
I'm seeing Unforgiven on Engineer in pregame. Maybe a class swap coming through for Ambulance. We're in map number 2 now of RSL Asia Highlander Season 8 Grand Finals, and Daybreak taking map number 1, which was Ambulance's pick. I was on Vigil. Now we're on to Daybreak's pick of product, which is good because we're readying up. We can start talking about TF2 a little bit
Lovely.
more here. Yeah, let's see how this mid-fight unfolds, shall we?
Definitely. My prediction's going to be something close for this map as well, though. 3-2.
3-2, you reckon? I think, yeah, Daybreak might bring it out in a 3-2 fashion, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ambulas taking this as we look for the first frag on this mid-fight. It's going to be Unforgiven dying. He's back onto Heavy with that 300 ping and is going to go down for that sniper. In the backline will be Sedna, but getting caught out, it looks like, escaping. If able, nope, will get flamed down. Both spies dying actually there. So it's just a one-player advantage for blue team. Now 2, as Aver also going to fall.
Yeah, and they are using this to take this point early. I mean, Sincere was the very first person to step foot on point, shooting in his rollout so quickly. Turns out that space has been worth it for his team as they do take this point quite handedly with quite a lot of frags as well on the other side. Of course, they're not really going to matter because those spawns are coming back much faster now that Ambulance has the point. Sorry, Daybreak have the point.
Yeah, Lisa did lose that SBS early on here. That Heavy jumping up onto Cliff right now, trying to get the better angle. Jazzy winning the SBS, and Unforgiven down yet again to the snipers. Now dropped down to play a little bit closer to the combo. Demo changing a little bit of spam as this red team wants to come onto point, but so far being stopped by the hold from the blue team.
It's a soldier down on the side of Daybreak here, which is, you know, just a little bit more space, especially on the flank for Ambulance, and their soldier is abusing it, and so is their scout all the way onto the...
Yeah, sorry about that. Lisa goes down, as does Joe, and Ghosty as well. This is 4K to open things up for Daybreak Sniper. Ubers are exchanged, but they're not getting too much, especially with no Ghosty in on the Uber. Naver dying in the backline. He goes for a play onto Glido and finds a shotgun to the face. This is looking good to start things out for Daybreak. They've already taken a minute and a quarter off the clock and look like they're going to keep holding on to it a little while longer. Ghosty dying early yet again.
Yeah, I mean, Ghosty has been getting caught out a little bit. Unforgiven dying to the sniper as well. You know, he dodged that, but it was 300 milliseconds too late.
That's a great point, yeah, it's just a little late on the dodge. Lisa finally evens things up, takes on the sniper who is on the 6K there. Nice job by, I think their name is Piss, but I don't want to call them Piss on stream, that just
call
seems
them
rude.
Please, let's assume the I is actually a lowercase L.
Maybe it is, maybe their name's Please, or Pliss. Depending on the pronunciation. Good Pride Rock play right now by the soldier. This spy comes forward and misses all of his stabs. Franco can't secure a kill. And finally, we're now sub 60. Ambulas finally getting some good time onto point after Ubers are exchanged once, and now yet again coming in with Pyro stopping them. I don't really agree with that Uber out of Daybreak. I think they could have waited a little bit longer, but what happens, happens. And Sincere trying to get their medic out alive. Oh, if there had been slightly more damage, Rag would have fallen, but they will live. Oh, Lisa almost killing the demo there as well.
Jesus, things are getting close now, but I mean, finally the point has been capped by Ambulas, and they're going to be able to hold this with even Ubers, and a little bit of a player advantage.
Yep, Crankle goes in for a play and dies. Lisa dead on the other side. Pick classes, unless they're going on a tear, have been so far unsuccessful. Here's a bomb from the soldier Naver, but he only gets that gun pretty weak before having to jump away, and this collapse comes in onto him on grass. That's 3 down for Ambulas. This is Daybreak, blue team wants to come back forward. Gotta be careful, don't want Unforgiven to go down to the sniper right now. Will eat a headshot and then die to Sincere, winning the HVH. And Uber actually out from the red team early on. These teams building fairly quickly on COD. We're finally down below 2 minutes for Ambulas, holding on to this point, but a better Uber, I believe, for Daybreak as Sincere picks up his 4th.
Man, looks like Koth was really the situation that it was needed for Please to finally, you know, show off his sniper skills, as he hasn't been just getting one-sidedly dominated like he was last match, getting quite a lot of crucial frags, especially of Unforgiven, who's getting caught out quite a lot, leaving them sands heavy to take their fights with. So, I mean, at this stage, Daybreak, 30 seconds left. This next push is going to have to be a victory for Ambulus, or they're going to kiss goodbye to this round.
Yeah, and with a first to 3 win condition, you really can't lose rounds without a fight. Good pressure in onto the pocket area by the demo, but there's just no follow-up, no commitment to the play. Lisa trying to hold down that sight line, can't quite connect on the headshot, but look at all the spam coming forward from the demo. Getting that heavy, very weak Sincere is down to very low health. Sequence actually going to die. Sincere going down to 30 health, and the medic going down to the headshot. Lisa's popping off right now as they pick up Rag, and Ambulas, with 4 seconds on the clock for Daybreak, will cap this. The 135 for them to keep holding on.
And that's the exact situation they need. We're now looking at basically 40 seconds before they're going to be forced to give up this point. If they keep on that Uber, that could be even longer. So things are going to start looking pretty tight for Daybreak really soon. It's going to depend if they decide to do a sack wave or just trust their sniper to get things going.
Well, if you trust in your sniper, you'll see a demo man dead. Here's the sack wave coming forward from the opposing demo. Sequence will get gunned down in Dogbread though. And now the soldier jumping forward a little bit later, seeing if he can find anything, gets the medic, pop that Uber out, and Rag will escape from basic cliff. So now the ad will be 50-60% in favor of Daybreak. Sub 60 on the clock for Ambulas, but again, just 4 seconds remaining for Daybreak once they cap this point back. So it's got to be a pretty aggressive defense from Ambulas, even without the Uber, which is almost full now for Daybreak.
Doesn't look like it. They're holding quite back so far. Maybe not really the best idea to try to stuff this Uber as quickly as they can. Hopefully, they might be hoping for Daybreak to overcommit for it. Crankle does get Lisa.
Yeah, that's a big kick onto the sniper. Now you really have to try to bully these players off point. Here's the spy on the other side of things. We'll pick up 2 actually as they find the scout and the demo go down for it in the end. And all the frags coming back in as it's going to be almost a full team wipe. Only Jazzy alive at the end and Crankle on the respawn. That is a great hold from Ambulas. And with that, it'll be big ad for them. Sub 10 seconds remaining. It'll be an overtime fight for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely just going right down to the wire. It doesn't really look like there's enough players forward. The demo man does bomb into the point though, but Uber comes out from the side of Ambulus. That should be a really clean.
Neighbor just deleted everybody. That Uber comes forward, as you said, and you know, rockets from the high ground, my guy.
Yeah, and
powerful.
Ambulus pulled off exactly what I thought they would, which is just hold back for it, let the Uber charge be popped early, and just force them to overcommit and win that post-fight, which they did so successfully. Would have gone awful, given that their sniper died, but died just late enough to make things not matter.
Back in to the action, the second mid-fight underway. 3 down early for Ambulas and loses their flank, and now might be losing their heavy as well, trying to escape the Fist of Steel out. Crankle by 2 big picks in the fray, and that means Sub back up to lift with just a Pyro alive with them. And that's going to be a mid-fight won by Daybreak. Unforgiven putting in chat, high ping moment. That's what you signed up for, my friends.
Yeah, give it to Highlander players to, you know, put themselves in a circumstance and then wonder how they got there.
Yeah, 11. I never expected high ping to hurt me joining a server with 300 ping, but Neighbor comes in big again, and that's a med kill with 97% rack going down. Nice find by the Red Soldier.
Neighbor really bailing his team out of situations here, as they're going to be able to come forward with full Uber and take this point at their leisure. They're really not getting a lot of pressure in here though. They're probably waiting for some spawners, get their demo man back up before they commit to this. They don't want to get re-aggress on and lose the supercharge and get put right back to square one.
Sniper's looking for the trade here. It's going to be Lisa winning the battle, and Unforgiven. Oh no, how does he lose that? I think the lag, he had Sincere dead to rights, and just his shots were a little bit behind. But Sincere does die in the end, so an assist for him at least. Crankle trying to live but is on fire. It looks like are they gonna Crankle's just running around in circles, doesn't know what to do, and burns to death.
Oh man, tragic for him. He stayed alive so long in that fight, but now things are starting to look better for Ambulus. They do have that point, they do have this full Uber advantage. Gonna be another like 20 seconds probably off the clock, maybe a little less, before they're really forced to have to put it to the issue. Sackwave does come in from Daybreak, but let's get the better.
Sob! Oh! Heights from downtown yet again. Sequence will find the med drop. It's 97% on the other side of things, so Rag can come forward if they want. with an Uber, but will they even need to is the question. Frankel's camping, not the telly, looking for the sniper instead. Just gotta narrowly escape that damage. Not too much combo aggression though. I thought Daybreak would want to flood forward, and they decided not to for sub 2 minutes. Here's the Uber coming in, trying to rack up as many kills as possible, but sub isn't there, and will stay alive at the basic cliff here.
Don't know the wisdom of using that Uber. Demo Man goes down to the sniper at the end of that, which is going to be brutal for Ambulas in an attempt to re-push this. But I mean, yeah, like said, the Uber did come out of Daybreak there, so they will have to sit there and grind it again, back to trying to get to full. Things are not looking too bad for Ambulas, even though they just lost that point there, because they will be able to sort of get their sack waves through and end up with, if not Uber advantage. Yikes, Lisa winning that SVS there, I saw that.
That was a nice shot, that was a nice peek. Stop talking! Oh, the stab coming in from Frankel, and now Rag will have big ad. 1:30 on the clock for the blue team here. Rag about half health, that's just getting big base of cliff. A couple of players dying on both sides here, but it looks like the advantage, it honestly could go either way. Rag looking to hit some air as well, keep up sequence, but Lisa hitting the fully charged body headshot, and now winning the SVS again. It's only 3 alive, this Daybreak team, and right back into it is Ambulas.
Yikes, that's just Lisa bailing them out of a really bad situation there after Frankel came in and picked up their medic.
Dude, that pyro is insane. Samyang, that was crazy. The perfect reflex and then hits the detonator shot with the mid-air tet onto a soldier jumping away. That was crazy. Good stuff from them. Uber is out for the blue team though. Jumping deep will be the demo trying to trap off this medic in the corner and does get sub. Great play there by Daybreak's demo. On a sack, well, on an Uber, I guess, picking up the medic though, so it'll be ad still for Daybreak.
Man, Sub's just getting bullied all up this game, I'm not gonna lie. This round especially, you know, dying to that spy in just the worst possible situation, you know, getting picked up, getting dropped on that sack wave, and then just dying to that Uber right there. It's gotta be really brutal.
Instead, stab one on the telly, picking up the demo, and then guns down Frankel right at spawn. Here's a bomb from the blue soldier as he goes forward, but gets deleted by Joe, and Sincere is dead as well. Cap coming back in for Ambulas. We're at 38 seconds on the clock for Daybreak, 120, and counting down for Red. Set them will find the sniper, giving Lisa even more space to wreak havoc.
Yeah, and even though Sub has been getting bullied this game, still a pretty good situation for their team. They do have a minute left on the cap. Almost getting Uber, probably won't be too big an advantage for Daybreak here, sorry. As long as...
That's 97 again! Oh, nice body shot there. Not too flashy, but picks it up. Frankel will find Lisa, though, before going down themselves. And Sequence is dead. Heavy looking for some heals, but not finding too many. It's the onslaught of damage from Ambulas, getting this clock down to even now, and holding on to the point a little while longer.
Yeah, turned what was looking like an either-or situation into a pretty big dominance for Ambulas here. They're going to be able to defend this with full Uber advantage as long as nothing disastrously wrong happens. They should be taking up this round.
Here's a bomb coming in from Daybreak onto the dispenser, getting good damage onto the medic, but he's kind of shaking all around. That camera POV was tough to watch. He doesn't find the frag, and on the other side of things, Ghosty is going to go down. Or on the same side of things, excuse me. But a couple of players being dropped by the blue team. It's sub 10 seconds, and the Uber is in play, rushing forward. They'll certainly pick up Rag here with Joe's speed, and they do find it. Bit of pressure onto point, but that'll be a 2-round in favor of Ambulas in map number 2.
Yeah, and these rounds are really, really close. You know, this could be going either way, so I don't think Daybreak's out of it just yet. I mean, they could have pretty easily picked up either of the last 2 rounds had things gone just a little bit differently. So maybe they're going to adjust right here, maybe they're not. You might see a 3-0 for Daybreak. I mean, Ambulas.
I might see them come right back and pick up the win on the not map pick. Versadai is set to trying to cross the midpoint. Rag will go down though, and he jumped at the worst moment. Gotta keep some alive though as the spy comes in and picks up the demo, I believe. Yeah, a lot of players actually sub, narrowly escaping with a couple of other players. So Uber ad would be in favor of Ambulas, but the midpoint won by Daybreak. Here's a big bomb from Sequence going deep. Wants to pick up the medic, can't find him. And there you go, the sack fails.
Sub saying he's having enough of being bullied, he's going to stay alive through thick or thin, and going to have that full Uber advantage for his team.
Look at the scout. Oh no, I thought he was just going to box the medic, but instead dies to the combo.
Yeah, really lucky for them, as they're going to be able to move forward with their full Uber advantage now, but they don't actually have to use them.
No, they don't. They're going to anyway, but they are likely going to find the medic here. Lisa will die in Connector all alone, as Senda also falling. Means no pick losses in play for Ambulas as they now take back the point. It's not the best situation for them, but oh no, it's even worse situation now. Fire wasn't checking. Maybe getting a little bit tired over there. Will go down, and now it's full ad for Rag. With Lisa looking for a shot in a moment, you just gotta be careful of that. Here's a lot of aggression from Ghosty. Can he hit the deck? No, Rag will escape into house. Anyone could go tickle Rag and find the frag, but oh, someone's trying. That's Joe, who really wanted to find the tickle and forces the Uber. So there you go. Uber is forced out, and Uber ad will go back in favor of Ambulas and sub.
You know, Ambulas did make the best of a really bad situation there. By all means, they should be shoved right back into their spawn with dominant point control from Daybreak. They're managing to defy expectations again. Uberad, again, held on to the point through all of that and have a better time on the clock as well.
Great stuff from them. Lisa walks out of house, posts up, takes a shot, and wins it against a scoped in and watching enemy sniper. It's too good right now. And oh my god, Frag, you can't be jumping like that, my friend. As they almost get headshot yet again. It's 4 down for the red team, 3 for blue. Ambulas down around 1:30 remaining on the clock for them, holding on so far with full Uber now.
Grankle did get picked up by the Pyros. He was trying to go for the medic there, but we will probably still see a Daybreak text. No, I didn't.
That reflex to try to save Neighbor, and instead he does the detonator. That was kind of crazy. But like he saved his soldier from dying from a rocket, and then he dies from a detonator shot instead.
Yeah, that's absolutely brutal for him. Even Uber's now, and the Uber does come out first from Ambulance.
Yeah, they're taking this aggressively. I don't know if they realized that Rag had the Uber or just wanted to go for the exchange. Regardless, they're not fighting too much in it as they drop 4 of their own. 2 of those picked up by Krankle in the back line. So a 1 Uber exchange for Daybreak. They take back the point. We're sub 60 on the clock for Ambulas though, and it is Matt, point for them, trying to even the score at 1-1, go to the 3rd map of Swift.
Yeah, now we're seeing this sort of really good counter aggression from Ambulance. Lisa picking up Sincere. That's going to be no heavy to defend from the side of Dave.
That was a beautiful shot. Peeks just ahead and finds the kill. But yeah, it's even Ubers. Here's a soldier wants to jump, maybe? No, he's just going to spam down this heavy from up top. You got to look up, Unforgiven. Look up! Oh, he just dies instead. Look at Kaleido, 5k on NG.
Jeez, that's why he's been winning so far, you know? Even on Engineer on clock, he's popping off, for sure. And I mean...
Sure he'll...
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, I'm sure he'll, if the success continues, he'll want to swap to Frontier Justice and just start bullying people on Ubers with the crits available. What is he running right now? He's just running stock for now, but honestly, you could go back. We have the Ubers exchange first, red popping. They're going to fade first for sure, but not finding too much as Daybreak. Maybe they can get this heavy down, but it doesn't look like it as Kaleido will finally die, shutting down that kill streak. Lisa finds his 3rd before dying, and Krankle comes in for 2 big picks, including the medic. And although the Pyro's on a 6k, it doesn't keep his medic alive there.
It's now really good.
Nice to Neighbor!
Oh no! Just as I was about to say, it's a good situation for Daybreak. Just Neighbor turning it all around, getting Ambulance the chance they need to try to close this out with 30 seconds left on the clock for their time, and a minute left on the MSB side.
It's just these bombs from Connector time and time again, and Sub just gets gunned down as well. These medics having a terrible time in this moment, and yeah, we've seen a couple bombs from Neighbor just jumping across the point and coming right in onto that pocket area, picking up the frag. Here's Rag right now, but the Spy looking for a sequence, missing the stab. We're at 15 seconds and counting down. Ambulas in great position to take this map and move towards map 3.
Of course, Daybreak has taken back control of the point. They do have Uber advantage and a lot of player advantage as well. So, I mean, this should be a pretty easy hold for them. It's now all on them on whether they're going to lose it or not. Since they've got that Uber advantage, it's just defending against this relentless Ambulance push.
I'm just watching Neighbor right now. I want to see if he goes in or not. Though I did lose his POV. He dies to Jazzy, who's on a 5k right now. Soldier on the other side doing some good work. Here's a bit of aggression, but nothing too serious. Lisa posting up, finding the SBS. winning it. Sedna dies to the combo. And, yeah, the scout just continues to dance around point. Here's a Uber coming out from the blue team. We're 85% for the red team. They're going to kite this as best they can, but they can't get too far away because it's 10 seconds left on the clock. They don't want it to get into overtime. The Uber now faded. Rushing back forward will be the red team popping in on this Uber, and they're going to find 3 immediately. Now 4. Ghosty getting the fights, and it gets into overtime. But it looks like Ambulas is going to secure this map, and we'll be going on to Swift here in a moment.
Oh, there's still a couple of players left. And the frag coming out from the scout. They are getting players forward now.
No way.
Contesting the point.
No
Crankle
way.
and the Py-bun. Taking control of this now. They fill basically the entire of Ambulas. And yeah, they've got the cap. That's the overtime. They win that round.
That's double overtime. Caster's curse. Ambulas gets kinda, I mean, I don't want to use bad language, but they just got dicked. Like,
yeah, they called it too early, clearly. Highlander and the scout coming back, getting all the space they needed. Oh my god.
Let's go. Happy to see it. We're in on the next mid though. And oh, that arrow just barely keeping the Pyro alive from the soldier damage, who is in turn dead. Picking up Sincere early. It's 3 down for both sides. Continuing to look for frags. 155 looking to get behind. He spotted out. They'll find the sniper as the flank is in havoc mode in the backline of Ambulas.
Yeah, frag's been traded left, right, and center of this map. Ghosty went down like the very first pick on that mid, so things did get pretty well secured for Daybreak here. But I mean, again, anything can happen right now. Even Ubers and their scout has gone down already.
Big reflect there to pick up Neighbor, and Unforgiven down to the sniper peeking from that concrete area. Lisa wants to find that SVS win. Can't quite get the angle. Crankle's in position to pick off Lisa right now, and we'll get it from up top and dive for it instead. But that's a good pick onto the sniper. Sub can't really peek to get heals out to his players. That sniper is watching the sightline. Daybreak gonna keep holding on.
Yeah, and again, even Uber did not come out from Ambulas there. The demo man is back up, so now they've got an advantage, a chance to push this. Not an advantage for it though. We'll see what they manage to get on each side. Pyro the first to go down.
Pyro the first to go down to that sniper there. Great play. The Uber popped out, keeping that scout alive. 155 wants to get a little further forward, but has to retreat around. So things will even up just a bit, and sniper missing a shot. Lisa really wants that. You gotta be careful, Demo, because you are walking right into a sniper sightline, getting those traps down, but not finding any frags. Lido will live, it looks like, just barely around that combo area.
Yeah, still no cap of the point, even though the Ubers did come out from Ambulas, so now they're a minute and a half down. Things are looking a little bit more rough for them. Lisa does start getting frags though, so does Unforgiven.
Yeah, Unforgiven, Ghosty, and Lisa each, Ghosty just getting the revenge, but there's Lisa picking up the medic with a body shot, finding their third, and that's only 3 alive now for Daybreak, with good time off the clock. Ambulas definitely doesn't want this to even up at 2, but we did predict a 3-2, so maybe we'll be right in the end.
Yeah, I mean, all we need is Daybreak now to win 2 more rounds in a row, and then we've been proven correct.
Here's the Demo jumping forward out. Yeah, Sub is juggled up onto the catwalk area. It has to pop the Uber. Still have Jazzy behind right now. Will get gunned down by the Unforgiven Heavy. Great sack wave though to pick up that Uber force, and now it's back in favor of Daybreak as they come back forward onto this point, trying to take this dry, or maybe just stay a little safe here. Hard to say, but sequence going down means no Demo in for this next fight.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be rough for them to hold on, but they do still have that Uber advantage, so not the end of the world for them. They did find the spy, not too much of a threat to that at this moment. So far, Ambulance hasn't really been going for the sack waves, just preferring to get that pressure down, which with those picks will be pretty useful, but they've lost their own 4 players.
Yeah, I just saw the sniper go on a tear and pick up 3, including the counter snipe. Now respawned is Lisa, wants to get back in position. Is that Sub picking up an arrow kill? I believe it was. I saw a soldier, or I think Ghosty just jumped forward and didn't realize that there was a heavy waiting in dog red for him, so Demo is dead for red. And we're going to be sub 60 now.
Yeah, not the worst situation with Daybreak, but they've been in the situation before. Ambulance can still turn around. This is an aggressive Uber. Really aggressive Uber.
really aggressive with Uber, and they're not going to find really anything with this. Maybe in the post-fight sub, infinite trouble, but narrowly able to escape. Krankle now looking for the frag. Going to rotate around. He's going to get it. Sub going down. Nice pick there by Krankle. Now this demo in a lot of trouble as well. We'll find the butter knife. It's a 3K from Krankle to really win that fight, I think, for Daybreak, who is now at 30 seconds left on the clock. Try to even it up at 2-2.
Yes, still winning a round was all the motivation Daybreak needed, because they've had so much more control this round than they have anyone previously, and things are looking a lot less close on the side of Ambulas. Sequence just going into seemingly died or not, gets
no
frag.
Yeah, Sequence just goes deep and picks up the med kill and secures this round almost certainly in favor of Daybreak, as there's barely any presence on cap. It's just going to be a scout, and overtime fades. It's evened up at 2-2. Match point for either team now, and Daybreak wins this next one. Not only will they reverse sweep on the map, but they'll secure the upset and avoid the map 3 and keep Kaleido and their record going of winning every grand final. So we'll have to wait and see. Take us through this mid fight.
Ghosty has already died first off again in exchange for a scout, however, from Unforgiven. Sniper popping off from Piss there, taking his frags. Heavy's walking forward. This is a lot of dominance from the side of Daybreak. They forced the medic out on fuck all health HP at this stage, and really just a lot of control. This is exactly what they've needed so far.
Yeah, great control, and although both medics living on this fight, so you know, an even fight. Ambulas could just come right back in and force a fight and win it with just DM. We mentioned that there's a very DM heavy first map. Now a similar situation here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was so surprised to see just how dominant so far Daybreak are being. They have sort of backed a little bit off this point. They kept their medic alive. It's going to be how far they can defend this push, however. Ambulas is walking really far forward with this. Unforgiven getting the angle they need and forcing out the Uber first.
Forcing out the Uber, popping right back to try to keep all the players alive. Gotta flush that heavy a little bit longer. And the Uber will stay on Unforgiven. Keep him in the fight. Oh, Rag almost dying there to a headshot from Lisa, but no. We'll actually see Lisa dying instead, but there down goes Sub in the backline to the Spy. We're at now for Daybreak yet again.
Yeah, I mean, Daybreak again, Uber advantage, now going to cap the point again. Really, winning that round has just changed their playstyle completely. They're looking a lot more dominant so far. Just anything Ambulas is trying is just getting shoved completely. I mean, really, Ambulas has to shake things up right now, and it's going to probably start with stopping Sequence from getting so many frags.
Yeah, Sequence is going on a tear every time he's alive, finding a couple of kills. He's gotten 92 points on the scoreboard right now. The Pyro on the other side actually top scoring just with scoreboard, which I know is inaccurate, but he's got 113. Pretty good score there to see. But things continue with Lisa going down, and pick class is dead for both sides. Actually, no, so the blue sniper in play. Bit of aggression getting denied really by Sincere and co. Their spread team has to continue to back off and wait just a little while longer. Sub 130 on the clock.
Man, Krankle hasn't gone a single frag this entire game. He's getting 2. They only come in pairs. Lisa striking back after the spawn, but I mean, Krankle took down both Lisa and Ghosty there for the sniper in the demo. Such dominant picks from him so far to swing things even more dominantly towards his team. Finally, the Uber has come up on the side of Ambulas though.
Yep, they will likely want to get a second first. That demo almost getting bodied. Sequence lives yet again. Lisa goes down. It's a medic laying in Daybreak. Gets down to about half health. Doesn't pop the Uber. Now Pop's trying to come forward. It's going to be a scout. Can't find anything against the Uber coming in on the side of Daybreak, which will get the Pyro down there. The soldier up on the high ground gets deleted with a reflect. Neighbor can't do that. Soldier on the other side also going down. I'm just waiting to see, does Rag get killed here or Sub on the other side? It doesn't look like it with some pipes. And now the scout wants to chase. Will pick up Pyro, but not that medic. So everything will continue on. We're at 38 seconds for Daybreak. They just need to cap this and hold it for a little while longer.
Yep, even Ubers as well, because like you said, the medics did get out there. Sequence was split up from his combo there during that Uber exchange, so, you know, not much they really could have done there. This time, however, presumably he's going to be closer with them, and we're going to see if they can retake this point and secure another dominant victory, or whether Ambulance has their chance to win this map and take it to the third.
And Lisa wanted to find a shot there, but couldn't quite get the angle onto the demo man. Will post up and second scope the counter sniper. So now a lot of space made with just that one pick. Neighbor is dead, as is Show, so no flank versus no pick classes, but it's even numbers. Maybe a bit better DM here for Daybreak. Lisa is sticky down from afar, and good. Oh, I was going to say good point presence until Sedna comes forward, picks up their 5th kill before going down themselves.
That does force the Uber out as well.
Yeah, not finding a lot in this, but it's 4 down still for Ambulas. Daybreak will be able to cap this no problem. Now, so, I don't know how they got up onto that rock, but they got deleted, and the give was fantastic. Like fireworks on a holiday that isn't the 4th of July. I know I'm talking to a bunch of Australians, so that's not a good analogy.
Well, sure enough, even though Sequence did go down there to that spy, he has come back in time. His team still did get that cap. Uber advantage, 10 seconds left. It's all coming down to the wire for Ambulance to try to stay in this tournament.
Yeah, they want to win this grand finals. Definitely don't want to go home with 2nd place, especially being the favorite. But winning the fight actually very handedly. They know that they need to win this one, and with 3 seconds remaining, will find the cap and the meta kill as well as a lot more frags. So Sub needs to live, which has been a struggle. You know, there's been a lot of threats to the medic's survival on both sides, but really, oh, Rag dies again. That's big for Ambulas.
I mean, if there was any statement Ambulance needed to say that they're still in this game, it was that. And now, full Uberad, dodging the snipers, however, Lisa has been killed, so that does give Piss endless space here to try to pick up the sniper. All this pressure now coming up from Daybreak with one goal in mind. Get Sub to die or pop and then re-aggress this point. But they don't have time to build their own Uber.
They don't have time to build their own Uber. I'm surprised we're not seeing a different Medigun come out, but I guess they might have a little bit of confidence or just forget to swap. Rag is the target of a little bit of spam. Pyro dead for the blue team. We're sub 30 now. You don't want to pop until you're around 10 seconds realistically, but it might get forced out beforehand. We have Crankle in behind right now. The sniper will pick up that frag, making even more space as Rag is stabbed on the other side yet again. That's 3 med deaths in a row, and now it's basically a free Uber onto point, and it looks like Ambulas is going to be able to secure this. Although, I don't want to speak too soon, because there are some players still alive. They're going to be rushing to point. But it doesn't seem... Oh, is that a quick fix to bring the medic for it? I just saw a blind medic. That was funny. But Ambulas will secure the 2nd map, and force map number 3.
That was just about as close as you could get. There were players who were centimeters away from being able to contest that point on the side of Daybreak for that 3rd round. But I'd like to say we were correct in our 3-2 prediction.
This is true. This is true. Very true.
Looking at the logs here, I mean, Sequence yet again, topping the damage over 500, not topping the frags this time. I mean, this time, Piss really activated something, because that's 41 frags, almost 500 DPM themselves, coming in 2nd in the damage. That's just really the performance they didn't show on payload.
Definitely agree. A dominant performance from Bliss just wasn't enough.
I know the accuracy stats don't matter, but Lisa did have a 48% accuracy on the upper hand. That's almost half their shots hit on something. That is some pretty impressive aim coming out of them, and we did see that in the game in several positions. I don't know what time it is over where the players are right now, but it's already 2:30 in the morning for me. These guys have been playing for quite a while. This stage fatigue does start to set in.
For sure, and I just realized it's 10:30 in the morning for me here. We've been here for about 2 hours, and those players were scrimming beforehand as well. So imagine at least an hour of scrims beforehand. It's going on 3.5 hours for them, and we're just now getting into map number 3 to close this out. And it's going to be a best of 3 as well. So a lot more TF2 to be played.
What exactly are you kind of expecting us to see on this map? I mean, so far, the last payload we saw, which was Ambulas' map pick, as is this one, was pretty close, but edged out by Daybreak. So what really should we be expecting here?
Okay, do players in this region know funny flog strats, or does that not happen? Oh,
not often.
No, you gotta flog through. Oh, that's so lame. Oh, I'm disappointed. Darn it. Well, who is starting out on offense here? Who's set in the first page?
That is Daybreak starting out on offense. Kaleido seeing if he can close out, keep his streak going, win yet another series of Asia Highlander, or whether we see Ambulas defend their position as champions and get another first place badge under their belt.
Yeah, maybe I'd like to see a bit of a banner coming in, at least from the defensive soldier, and I'd certainly like to see a pyro run flog through apartments just once, just for the funnies.
Just one.
Like when it works, it's hilariously broken, and like so. Okay, I need to phrase this without BMing players. The North American TF2 that I've seen, such a funny strat doesn't work because of team coordination, DM skills. Like, those players have been playing since the game came out, and they've been playing together since the game came out, and they are just like a well-oiled machine at that point, so funny strat won't work. But, I mean, not to say these players are bad in any way. I think it would be funny. Yes, we have it! Yes, they swap. We're gonna see funny flog strats. I think it's gonna work, and I'm really excited to see Daybreak get the flog interconnector. But the doors are open on map number 3 of RSL Asia Highlander Season 8 Grand Finals. Daybreak versus Ambulas. It is tied 1-1. My name's Godfather, joined by Luggnuts on the mic, and Core is on production for us for the long haul this evening, as I'm sure it is, well, I know it's late for you, Luggnuts, and it's early for me.
You know, this is the international later of TF2. Really soft hold on first, we're seeing out of Ambulas as kind of expected here. Basically giving it up to hold up to their, you know, apartment area. Probably not expecting the flog pyro though. I don't know if this is a standard strat in the region.
I really hope it's not, because then it will work better. It's just a question of can this pyro build up the flog in time, and that's a... Okay, it's detonator, good. Well, now they can start. The demo walking through gets deleted immediately. The Uber is actually going to get popped by both sides. They're not even going to wait for the flog to come through. And now this blue pyro can't air blast at all. The Uber's better on the red team, and this is going to all fall apart. They're likely going to... Oh, wait. They lose their medic, but no one else. And a 4K out of the defending pyro to pick up the medic. And that's not how you do it. If you were wondering about the funny strat, you build it up on first point and then you pop through. But now it's 100% flog for this offensive pyro. He just doesn't... Does he know about the traps? I think he does. Okay, he does.
He should. He's got that flog now. He has just popped his flog. We're going to see it before the Ubers come.
Come in. Oh, he just goes for it. No one dead. He's going to find the medic. It's just a badland. That's the funny strat you want to see. And although a couple players die on the other side, Sub is dead. And the offense now has pretty much free reign in terms of Uber diff. There you have it, folks. That's how it happens. That's how you do it.
Take notes, everybody. I want to see this happening in every single main game from now on, at the very least.
Yeah, I do too. I'll cast them if you guys run flog. That's my promise to you. Lisa will pick up a nice shot through the shuttered doors sequence, peeking that a little bit too aggressively. The traps are in position. Lisa's actually going to die now. I would like to see a little bit more pressure onto Cart right now by the blue team. The Uber's going to get popped in, down a couple of players early. This pyro just trying to stop and keep the shutter open, I guess, for their sniper. If someone peeks this, it should be a kill. Can they find it? Doesn't look like it. They'll have to back off. Again, this cart has not left the tunnel area.
I don't know if that was a forced Uber or just a really hasty Uber, but only went through on the pyro. No, the heavy went down at the start of it, and the demo man was respawning. So, I mean, that's just a pretty awful situation now for Daybreak. They're going to have to build this Uber again, Uber disadvantage, before they can really get another chance of cracking this point. At this stage, the time is wearing on a little bit, but, I mean, anything can happen on the other points in this map.
Good presence onto the cart right now, and I don't know where the gun is. It's going to be a mini sentry up top. Kringle knows about it, and he's going to go for the sap instead. He's going to get Wanda. Soldier now jumping forward, gets the force onto Sub. This cart has good time right now. The NG was able... Oh, that NG shouldn't have backed off. He should have just kept going for it. Would have been a cap for 3, but the red team will back out, and now the cap will come through. That will be 2 points and 325. We have the Conqueror out for Neighbor on the defensive soldier, so maybe taking my advice after all, and it'll be an opportunity to get a little bit of a better hold set up. But the Uber immediately in by the Pyro, who's now juggled to the air. This medic kind of isolated all alone with the sniper unaware. Rag does go down to Joe in the backline, who's now taking some damage from the counter scout. Sub is alive, but can he keep his players the same way? No, as
Sub
Jess
died as well.
Comes in for the frag. That's both meds down, and we will be ad for Daybreak. Just slight, but should be enough. Are they not going to cap this? I was moving my camera onto the the fourth point, but I guess not. That'll be a hold somehow.
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where you really want to get the momentum and break this point, because third is a situation where this point is not impossible to break. Like we just saw there, Ambulas had a really good shot at... Sorry, Daybreak had a really good shot at getting rid of that hold, but I mean, having failed to break that first time, it just keeps getting harder every single time you try to crack at it. Sub going down by Crankle, though. Oh, man, that's the chance they need, I guess.
Yeah, this card is rolling backwards. The engineer or the scout needs to touch it. This is little things lose games like that, or little things win games on the flip side of that. They will have enough presence now, as there's only 2 alive on the defense, now 1 and some spawners to cap that. But that could have been a little bit faster of a time if they hadn't let that cart roll back. And you know, it's a grand finals match. I know you're a little fatigued right now, but you can't let simple mistakes happen like that. The heavy getting bullied into the corner, Raggy, a little bit of spam. It's just 3 here for the Uber. Now 4 as Sequence is getting into position, but Pyro not able to find too much damage. It will be, in the end, add back in favor of the defense, especially if Joe is able to live. Joe does live, Pyro putting him out. Nice job there. Setna's in behind for a plant to card if he wants to.
Does look like there is a pretty solid forward hold here from...
Wait, Hitman's? Is that meta? Lisa running Hitman's Heatmaker on Sniper?
I don't think so.
What is this? It's like
this
a MVM line, maybe? MVM loadout?
Creative decisions from Lisa. I don't know, maybe it might work given how many headshots they've been hitting. You know, they clearly need to get a little bit more of a reward for it. That or the bizarre bargain.
It's not charged up yet. I'm a Bizarre Bargain enthusiast. I think that's the best sniper primary. Obviously, if you can hit your shot at high levels,
I've seen this.
The Uber has popped out on to the red team. It's only 70% right now for blue, and they're not going to lose their medic. So now in great...
Oh, wow. No, Sub dying to Crankle in the middle of his entire team. Oh man, that is brutal.
That is brutal. Lisa is holding that right side angle at the moment, but there's just no one peeking him, so it's not being very effective. Sedna goes in for a play, but he's gunned down by 155 on the scout there, keeping his medic alive. I forget, can you pop the Hitman's passive, or Hitman's like active, even if you don't have full charge?
No, you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't.
Okay. Well, then they got to start hitting some more shots, because otherwise you're just using a worse sniper rifle. But here's the Uber coming in for the blue team, getting that gun down early in the heavy. Will just absolutely annihilate Unforgiven. Joe falling as well. The cap now getting pretty close. It's a heavy and medic on point, and that sniper post up into the window, doing their best to collapse onto the cart. Will be the flank as well as the demo coming forward. Sub, he's just going for saws like a mad lad. Can't find anything. Sequence hitting all the pipes. ×3 on cart, and that'll be the cap. 7-12, and that was a drop from Red's med the last second.
Yeah.
Sub gets a drop in their logs. That's... You gotta right click, my friend.
He got pushed down by the Pyro right into the bottom, wasn't even expecting it. Before he could blink, his life disappeared. And yeah, another drop, like you said, add to the logs. But that was a pretty good push from Daybreak. They got stuck a little bit on the second point, but they made up for it by clearing third pretty quickly and clearing fourth very fast, as well as not managing to get stuck on the last point. So I thought it was one of those maps where either you can go through every point like there's no hold there, or get stuck on every single point on the map for a very long time. So, you know, that didn't quite happen for them. 7 minutes isn't the best of time on other maps, but on Swiftwater it's definitely doable, and this is something they want to really be happy to defend, at least for this map.
We saw Flog first rounds, and now we're seeing Flog and Thermal Thruster, which is that's you know, extra haha funny, but that's really stupid, because you need that secondary. You need, like, if Scorch Shot's unbanned, honestly, just run Scorch Shot. I know bad, don't run Scorch Shot, that's gross and evil, but you should run Scorch Shot to try to build up your Flog as fast as possible. We'll also be seeing offensive conch play from the Soldier, so maybe a little bit more sustain in team fights. This demo jumping very aggressively far forward. There's no presence on first, other than a spy for the defense of Daybreak. Dude, why even go to first if you're just going to back out without shooting a shot?
That's exactly what I think. Kaleido, however, is doing exactly what I would like to see on engineers, which is if you're not going to hold first hard, don't even bother building the sentry and tunnel, just put it where he's done. He knows his stuff, he knows what he's doing, and I really like seeing that from engineers.
So a result of them just leaving immediately and pretending that that first doesn't actually exist is that there is 0% flog built up and 0% conch built up by this offense. They were playing for those things and they've gotten none of them. Why do players always forget about traps? There are traps. They're gonna die. Oh, but Lisa goes down to Crankle. Big flank play. He was waiting there the whole time, really.
It's a really good setup for the Spy, actually. Now it's just the standard spam war. Both teams have Uber, waiting for that flog, presumably, so they can use it in. They do know probably that they have to use this before the Uber comes out. I mean, I can see the detonator here. But yeah, I guess we'll see how they manage to do this, or if they manage to pull it off a bit more successfully than the other team did on the offense.
Setna is very deep by spawn right now. They're going on like the long haul to try to find a pick here. Now coming up the stairs, jumping narrowly past that heavy. They're in position, but they might get caught out. Setna, the Madland, what is this movement? He's insane, but he will get caught out. Wasn't enough of a distraction either for the Pyro to be ready. Only at 65 on that flog, and yeah, this is just a slow, arduous journey of building a flog. Here's the Uber, actually. They're going to come in, try to get that flog in play quickly. As long as his doors stay open, it should be okay. They need to make sure that they keep other players up, though. This heavy will go down. Unforgiven is shot in the head by the sniper. As they continue to peek for some shots. Lisa will win the SBS, though. That's going to be big for them.
Because they moved in there without the flog right there, and it doesn't really look like they're planning on immediately re-pushing, I wonder why they didn't just go for that Uber exchange as soon as they possibly could, because a lot of time has been taken right now on the second point, and if they don't roll through this as soon as they get that flog, then I mean things are looking pretty brutal for them.
Yeah, this is pretty pointless at this point. You're just waiting. You need to have something happen. You know, poke him with a stick, come on, do something. Flog is in play now, and Sedna is jumping around and gets deleted even with the Deadbringer. Here comes the Flog going forward, not finding too much yet. Wants to get in, they'll find two actually. Picking up the Pyro and the Heavy, and the Uber also expended to pick up the Medic. Frag all alone goes down, and it all falls apart for the defense here. So I guess it works in the end. They only have times one on cart right now. The Scout, nowhere to be found. Oh, that's because they're dead. That's on me, sorry Joe, no BM intended, I just didn't realize he was dead.
Jeez, that's Rag actually dropped there. I think he just got 100% when he got double piped there, so really brutal for them. They did successfully kite the flog, but their medic wasn't quite enough, and they're not even going to be able to defend this third point as well.
Yeah, it's not going to be an option really, and oh my god, that was disgusting! That was disgusting, Lisa! Oh my god, the Spy defloat, the turnaround 180, zoom in, headshot, boom. Lisa also finding another, winning the SBS yet again, pick up their fourth. And now it's a siege onto the fourth point. Ghosty in a bit of trouble, has to be careful for Frankel, who's going to be watching here. Look for the stab, getting one, getting two, picking up the med, Sub is dead.
He got two even after his Pyro had seen him. I mean, maybe Submarine is right and he is mute at the moment, because that's actually going to completely stuff their push. Full Uber advantage and a sentry gun coming up on this fourth point. This fourth can be very hard to break if you don't approach it in the right way.
Yeah, you really have to play your cards correctly, and one of those things is keeping your med up. I'm hoping we'll see. Oh, you should have swapped off Flog a while ago. But hey, and he swaps off Flog. I say it and it happens. It's
like
great.
you're listening
I love
to
it
the
when
stream.
players listen to me. Yeah, you just gotta listen to me, even though they're way in the past or something. Sub dead though. No offensive medic here. A great pick before dying themselves to a neighbor. And now full ad continues to be held by a Rag on this side of Daybreak.
More or less exactly what we should be expecting out of this push. Does look like these teams know how to get through a fourth hole.
Uber in. They're just gonna try to hold this point with an Uber and assume they can build it up in time, but now they've opened things up for Rag to die as they cut him off on the escape. Sub might be in trouble here. Oh, 4 health medic, and the spy is going to come in and gun him down. Crankle finishing off the kill. That is only 2 alive after the fight. So I guess Daybreak knew what they were doing there with 1:30 on the clock. Ambulas in a bit of trouble here.
Ambulas are not going to have to take fourth, but they're also going to have to take last basically immediately afterwards, and that can be a notoriously difficult point to push, so they need to not just be expending everything to get the cart a little bit forward, they have to be winning this entire map in a minute to win this round.
Yeah, I'm watching these medics making sure they stay alive as best as possible. Sincere is dead. Look at the positioning of Daybreak right now. They're happy to just play around cart. No fear of Lisa, which is pretty silly, but at this point, you're willing to take the risk just to hold on to the cart. Even the demo collapsing there, keeping it down the hill. And yeah, all the aggression in the world isn't going to put more time on the clock here. So, good play by Daybreak thus far.
Is pretty successful in uprooting them from that point, however. Only 30 seconds, they didn't manage to force out the defense's Uber.
Oh! No way he gets the stab. Okay. I thought he was going to somehow find Unforgiven as well. But with 30 seconds, I have seen this exact situation done, but not with the defensive Uber in play. That's a med drop, though, by 155. Comes from behind. And now it's almost impossible for this blue team. Red could just pop the Uber now and start taunting. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the first round for Daybreak. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, Daybreak. There you go.
That's gonna be it. But 2 more rounds. Well, at least 1 more round. And is that instant ready up?
Another instant ready up. From one of the teams, yeah.
From both teams, there you go. No time to talk about what we just saw, but time to look at loadouts. What are we going to be seeing from the Pyros? They kind of knew what they were doing with the funny strats, but maybe not perfect execution.
I wouldn't want to see a flog again out of Daybreak here. Wait, sorry, no, it's... Hang on.
It's Ambulas
on the attack now. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see a flog out of them now for this offense because, as we've seen before, Daybreak don't like to hold forward, so your Pyro's essentially building off nothing until they get to the apartments area, and at that stage you want to basically instantly exchange the Ubers, and then everyone's flashy and there's no one to use the flog on or even build on, so you'd just be sitting there again building for ages with the squad shot or the detonator.
For sure, yeah. It's looking like it's going to be the same setup though, putting your NG up on that catwalk area and just getting ready for the second hold. Although this time, some traps which are visible, so maybe not well placed, but some traps for the defense. And no funny weapons. Very sad. Oh, that if they had dead, that would have been 2 kills.
Oh man, that would have slowed them down for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, also doesn't really matter if you find 2 kills on the offense this early into the game, but once again, they'll be back now. Oh, get the debt! Oh, just missing the debt as narrowly escaping that. Crankle's still in position though up there on the high ground. I feel like you should just know to check that area because there's always a spy there, so why not shoot and check?
Exactly. You know, one of those things you should just always have in the mind, you know, Pyro checks average spots. But I mean, looks like Crunkle might be able to get something else again, because he is just solidly behind him once more.
Yeah, the debt is in. The Uber now popping forward onto the Pyro, doing the best to stop it. They get Rag off the high ground. They might be able to. Rag now could be in a very bad position. Has to flash his demo, keep sequence alive if possible. Nice headshot in, and Crankle picking up Lisa before time to subs arrow. So that'll be the med finding a frag, but a successful hold. Rag able to reset to that high ground, look for a dispenser to be placed, and we'll find one.
Very nicely for him. I mean, at this stage, again, they failed that push. Not the biggest issue for them. They do have time to get another one out. So far, Ambulus has shown to be able to sweep through the first points relatively simply now that they don't have the flog slowing them down. So, yeah, we'll see what they manage to get out.
Look at this NG. Yeah, I know, right? Sentry gun placement. This is... I like it, but it's really stupid. Because now you can't help out your combo. You can't, like, unsap a dispenser, which is, you know, sustained for your team and ammo. So if that goes down, you have to run all the way over, like.
Or you can just sticky jump while the dispenser gets sapped. Sorry, sentry jump while the dispenser gets sapped, you know?
You know, that'd be very flashy. I would love that.
Yeah.
So that's an 8K before Lisa finally shuts down the opposing sniper.
The one thing I don't like about the sentry is it doesn't cover where the combo has just come out of, and sure enough, you know, Demo Man gets some free spam before they even use the Uber. That's exactly why you don't like the sentry gun here, unless your flank is very on.
Oh, and that's dragged down on the defense, taken out with and that's a drop. Now the cap's gonna come through as well. This engineer able to stay on the point. The soldier up in the air, jumping in. Has to have some help from the scout here if they want to stay alive. Don't know exactly where the blue combo wants to go, but with sub dead later than Rag, it should be. Actually, no, because respawns and Rag dies again to Naver.
That's really brutal for that hold. Sub's going to have a pretty fat advantage if he starts building it at this stage. She's a bit disconnected. Going to give Rag a chance to even this out. Still 5%.
Yeah, you got to send someone back for that. Or like the teleporter was weird. I don't know what was causing that. Sub pretty isolated up on the high ground, but it's a safe position considering the situation. 3 points in 303. For Ambulas, they want to set a pretty blazing fast time here.
I mean, Ambulas is coming back saying we don't want to be knocked out of this tournament at this stage. We still want to win, hold on to our first place, and they're showing they really can if they can get this fourth. And died to Ghosty. Holy shit.
Yawns and Rag dies. Maybe I shouldn't yawn anymore.
Keep your eyes open because it's action 24/7.
100%, almost 100% now for Sub, has 80% on that super charge right now. 155 is looking to spam him down, maybe going for the commit, will find him. 3 kills in that life, will pick up the med kill, and a lot of frags actually going in favor of this defense. They lose 3, but there's only 3 alive on the other side of things. The Pyro now dead. To a nice bomb from Chazzy, looking for some heals. Look at this teleporter exit. The Engie's like, I mean, I love it. Lido's won every season, so I don't judge him, but always putting that heavy in great position. If he can get inside that room, they're not going to go for it though. It'll be just about 20% ad for Daybreak right now on defense.
Yeah, that's the Demo Man going down on the side of the offense. So, I mean, this defense looking really good. That teleporter there is going to allow members who've died to get right back into the fight, right into the thick of things where it matters. So far, they're just getting completely stuffed at this shutter door, which they really need to break out of this to crack this hold.
Yeah, Gunningtown soldier in the air as well. That teleporter, I don't know if they realize it's there, but it is certainly proved powerful so far. But this heavy is going to be trying to escape. It looks like Sincere will be able to as well. Just waiting to see if the snipers are able to make anything happen. That teleporter now being found. The Pyro very weak, and the Uber out super early because of the threat from that sniper. Now popping back forward will be the Pyro, and able to jump in, significant damage onto Sub, and 155 is there to help. That'll be Sub dead yet again for a 4K from the Pyro, and just 2 alive. It's the flank for Ambulas right now. They're not looking too hot as Neighbor will go down, and the scout falling as well from spawners, but essentially a team wipe.
Like I said, this point can be very hard to crack for an offensive team, even if they know what they're doing, like Ambulus clearly does. So, I mean, any longer here, and the time's going to start looking pretty bleak. Ambulus does have a pretty good first 3-point time, however, so they do have a bit of a time bank to get this through.
Yeah, they want to keep that momentum, though, if possible. The NG surfing some damage. I thought Glad might be able to stay alive there, but no luck. Ghosty is dead. 5K out of Piss, whatever their name wants to be. But I'm just watching to see if these medics died. It's 91, 95% for Daybreak's Rag on defense. But they have to play so passively now. Ambulas is taking a lot of space. They want to come back in. The Uber will be popped. Unforgiven dead before Sub has. It's just 85%. Can they collapse in? It doesn't look like it. And they don't even stop the cart. So that is Uber expended for really no reason. And now they might get caught off as well. There's a little bit of damage going forward onto Rag. He just barely escaped though. It'll be 6-11 through 4 if the Spy doesn't pick up Lisa either. So great position here. Oh no, Sub in a little bit of trouble. Narrowly avoids death and now pops in with just a demo against a Pyro and a Heavy. It's a pretty bad Uber that they had to use there, and Sub dies in the post to a 7K. Well, 6 and then 7K from 155 before going down themselves.
I don't know if Sub was I mean, Sub was kind of forced there, but they really wanted to take that Uber. I can think of no other reason they were as aggressive as they were. Maybe wanting to close the round out as quickly as possible. Didn't go out well for them because now Rag is going to have a pretty fat Uber advantage to defend this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're at 96% to the opposition's 15, so it's definitely a good spot to be in. Lisa has to look for a better spot to snipe from. I'm just waiting to see. It looks like it's going to be pushed onto the right side from the defender's POV, trying to force that Uber, but Sub is just picked off by 155. No Uber extended by the defense. The cart not moving forward at the moment, so good hold continuing for the side of Daybreak.
Sub again just getting shut down as they try to get these pushes off. They need now a sack or something because they can't just afford to wait another 40 seconds to get their own Uber.
Dead! No! Crankle!
Spawn camp by Crankle.
We've seen spawn camps a few times. There's been like 4 or 5 med spawn camp deaths in this grand finals match. Jazzy getting some kills there, and the spy caught out as well. And that's going to be Yunpaw's got to reload my HUD quickly before this actually continues. Looks like the medic will live, as does Joe. So back to the hold goes Daybreak.
Crankle gets Joe though.
There's Joe. Can't live here. Bit of a scuffle happening on this right side area. This I forget what the calls are. Oh, but the spy going in. He hit the last shot. He's one health. Will get him off. He butternized him down.
And there's the pause, probably.
Yeah, well, who knows when the pause actually comes through, but that is demoralizing, to say the least. You gotta be finding like a med kill here onto Rag, or at least get the force off soon. The conch is actually out for the blue team, but no one commits, and it's not worth it as a result.
Yeah, I mean, right now, there's still that Uber advantage from the side of Daybreak here. Ambulance needs to get something done here. They can't wait for the mid.
Oh, he doesn't get him. I thought he might. He misses a couple of stabs there, but definitely a distraction. The snipe comes in onto Lisa. Sincere down on defense, no defensive heavy. The Uber is popped, and I thought Rag was going to get sent into the pit. Just barely not, as the cart is almost there. Senna looking for the decloak onto the cart right now. Will get found out. This soldier trying to collapse, Unforgiven in the pyro. Both coming forward. Here's the medic as well. They will get it. 5 points in 9-14. That is. I didn't actually see how close that cart was getting through the fight. So well done job there, and that's where the pause comes through as the match or the next round begins. So I guess a little bit of a tech pause. Or the pyro on the red team was laggy because I'm watching his ping go down from above 100. Now it's 80 and dropping 70. So it might have had a bit of a laggy pyro there.
Could be the case. Also could be the fact that they have to discuss this 9-minute hold that's now facing them because, I mean, really, 9 minutes is a rough hold for their grand finals, you know, like this is the hold they have to make, otherwise they're out and Collider gets another first place badge.
For sure.
You have to now consider what are the enemy going to be bringing to the table on their attack. What do we need to do to make sure that our defense is just as good, if not better than theirs was? And just how do we keep Sub alive long enough to matter?
For sure. I'm seeing Flog on the offense. They want to bust through. They got to do it properly. And I'm not seeing a jetpack, which is good. So it's good to not see jetpack in friends. Getting that detonator spam going early. And you have the conch on defense as well.
So they've finally been listening to you. Hopefully they've got their stuff together now. Seddon is hiding in the tree though, looking for something. You know, maybe looking to get a little bit of revenge for Sub by taking down Ray.
Oh my god, they're going for the decloak right now onto Rag. They know about it though. They're missing all their shots. Rag takes a little bit of damage, does not force, does not go down. That's a defensive spy death, and now won't have those calls. Out goes Ambulas, back to the second point, and there you go. We're at 30% on the Flog for the blue pyro as that cap comes through. The gun is not set up on second fully yet. Sniper's peeking that shutter door. Oh, missing it.
Can now see why I really hate holding in the tunnel, because there's now no level 3 dispenser. You know, the gun's just been set up now. A very quick push out of Daybreak here could have cracked this hole wide open.
Absolutely. You know, the NA strat, as I remember it, you set up your telly and whatnot into into second, and then you just back out and like have your NG lead first, but you can still hold it a little while longer. I don't know. You don't want to overcommit to first, but you also want to get some good spam in and slow them down as best you can. You know, if you kill the two people that push the cart the best, the NG and the scout, then you're going to slow down that offense. So if your spy can go in for a play, or you can get a det onto cart, etc., it's worthwhile to do it. Just watching, waiting to see. It's full flog, full Uber. I think this Pyro might want to go. He is going to pop that flog in. Question is, will it work? You got to pop the Uber, or no? He's just going to go in like a mad lad, and doesn't find anything except the force coming back in. What they want. That's good. That's so good. Exactly what they needed.
Yep, finally they got that force through. Now it's just this full Uber advantage to crack this open, and
just
this
go.
should force them back. Yeah, they're waiting for the Pyro again, but they should just be going here, like you said.
Yeah, popping in now. It's going to be on the Pyro. Should bring your demo forward as well. Don't want that Pyro to be able to do too much. Don't pop the Sniper. You're leaving your medic alone. The Heavy can't do anything. This Uber is falling apart. They haven't even lost any players yet. Now they do, as Rag is spotted in the corner. Sincere also falling. That's a misplay by the Pyro, but they might get this cap in. If the Pyro is able to air blast the cap. They get the cap, but at what cost? As Rag is down, it's going to be 70-ish% add for Ambulas. And, yeah, not to, you know, BM a little bit, but that's a misplay by Sam on the side of Daybreak with the Pyro. You can't go chasing kills in such an important Uber.
Yeah, I mean, they dropped the demo man in that, they left their players behind, went forward on the Pyro who chased frags. Just about an awful situation. They got the point anyway, though, which is the bailout that they really need, because they spent a lot of time cracking that point. So, 2 minutes, you know, so not really the worst situation, but they need to keep things going. They couldn't afford to get stuck there for any longer, and they did manage to get the medic. Sub is dead. I completely missed that. How?
I could not tell you. I really could. They're gonna. It might have been a spawn camp or something.
Sub just spontaneously dies occasionally.
Yeah,
happen.
Yeah. You know, it's like a kill bind, but you don't expect it, or you don't press it. I've had that. I'll tell that story later. I've had a similar situation happen to me in a match, and it was not fun. But looking at the Sniper posting up, picking up Ghosty and the rest of Daybreak's offense going forward. But Joe is finding 4, as does Yang. Rag is dead, though. That's all that really matters. Neighbor picks up the
dropped as well.
That's a drop. Yeah, it's a drop.
Which is now making a little bit better for Ambulas. They still have to hold 2 points for 5 minutes. It's going to be really brutal given how fast Daybreak usually cracks through these points. But this is the first real hold on fourth that we've actually seen out of Ambulas. So we'll see how well they can do this.
Krangle decloaks behind Lisa. Lisa just looks at him and headshots him. And then picks up the Pyro as well. Lisa's not having any of it. We got the level 1 set up on the tracks here, out in the middle of nowhere. Sniper looking for the NG, not quite finding the right angle. Demo fairly weak, as is Sub on defense. They're playing so aggressively, but this might all fall apart if there's a good bomb that comes across these rocks. Just looking for the spam, the medic doing his best to output all the heals. Had that telly up as well in the corner by that health kit, and Soldier kills himself. Nice.
Not what you want to do on a defense. Both the flank players dead now. Yes, the stream did see that. They voted us in chat.
Nobody saw that. Not me. Not me.
Clearly not.
Always watching.
Always watching.
But I missed that one. Anyway, we are at even full Ubers. 100% for both sides. But Lisa's dead just for a little while longer. The Ubers, I believe, force out Sub down to below half health, and now Rag wants to come forward with the rest of the combo, not finding too much. Actually, Rag dying in the end to Ghosty, who lays down some traps. They lose their telly, but and their NG, but they find the Uber ad and plenty of frags to go along with it. 2 points in 340 is a lot harder to manage here.
Exactly. I mean, things are looking a lot better for the Daybreak offense now, but I mean, Ambulas has shown they're able to stuff this pretty effectively. As long as they can keep this going, get another minute at least, minute and a half out of this point, and they're going to be looking pretty decent for their last hold, as long as Sub doesn't die with Uber or something.
Yeah, as long as this thing happens as if we expect it to happen. like we say this ominous thing as if it's like, it should never happen. Here's a Soldier looking to do just that, getting Rag very weak right now. Oh, but won't be enough. And Sub is alive with 100%. Perhaps a drop could come through in a moment. As Sub's eating a little bit of damage. Wants to go for it, just out the low 30 health before popping, and now might be in a bit of a sticky situation. Sniper completely oblivious to a medic right next to him. Will unscope and run away in fear. That'll be good momentum up onto this second to last point, but the recommit might come in. Sedna gunning down some players from the high ground with this revolver, and now a scout coming forward, trying to win the 1v1, will do so. Krankle picks up Sub though, and that is the defensive medic dead. And Unforgiven, yep.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that recommit is exactly what they needed. They couldn't afford to let that point go through because that Uber advantage out of Daybreak here. But unfortunately, they managed to keep their entire team killed and still didn't force the Uber. So now, Daybreak's going to be able to push this last 2 minutes and a full Uber advantage. And no setup.
And no setup, very important. The engineer was unable to get his buildings ready, and honestly, could just see this map end in just a moment here. We have those traps on the right side if a push does come through, but if a push comes through that choke, it'll be likely with an Uber. So Ambulas in a very sticky situation here. The gun taken down, the debt comes through, the Uber pops in after the debt. Sub in the corner right now. Lisa picks up Sincere, and Krankle also dying. Good press on top of point. Oh, the collapse is devastating, but medics dying on both sides. Right now, the Pyro is a good threat to cart. Only 2 alive for the offense. Somehow, Ambulas wins the DM fight and will have about even Ubers for another attempt at a hold here.
It's now 1 minute 20 seconds for their grand finals existence. Even if they win this, they're still going to have to go to the third round, which is going to be, again, brutal for their stamina. But so far, they can't be thinking about that. They just have to focus on holding this for just a minute more. And with even Uber, they finally have their chance to do it. The engineer is forced to mini-sentries, however, and that card is getting very, very close to the hole.
Yeah, you got to be careful of a spy cap coming in. There is a soldier watching it, Naver in position. The spy instead narrowly avoiding bumping into a scout. Sedna is behind on the other side of things, but I believe he just got called, so has to run away, reposition, look for something else. Same with Krankle being found briefly by a scout. Sedna might win the 1v1 versus a scout here. Will butterknife him down before Jazzy has to come through and secure the kill. So 1 down for each team, but Daybreak without their scout. Prime cart pushing Austin Boy, but they continue to touch it, and that is Lisa down to Krankle in the backline.
Man, there's now going to have to be some serious stuff out here. 20 seconds left. You have to go in right now. You can't delay, because that time goes down, doesn't matter how many people are on the cart, you are going to lose. 14 seconds left. They have to go in, and they are.
Yeah, Rex gonna pop the super forward. You gotta be playing the cart as best as possible. Jazzy very weak. The collapse is coming forward right now, but a lot of players on the high ground for the red team. There's 3 seconds left. They've gotta touch the cart, and Fred is gonna hold it off. Ambulance looks like they have it, and they do. And they are going. That's it, right? I'm not crazy.
That's in the third round, I think. One more round.
They take it to the third round. Oh my lord! I thought it was over, but no.
Nope. I mean, really, this is just about as close as it gets. You know, we've seen a 2-1 for the first best of 3, a 3-2 for the second map, and then a 1-1 for this best of 3. I mean, these teams are so evenly matched here.
You know, all in the name of casting some good TF2, and I'm glad that this ended up being a great match, and it's not over quite yet. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We are seeing now they're ready up from both teams. They finished their strat talks. They're ready. They're in the best state mentally, hopefully. And really, we hopefully see a little bit more of the great TF2 these teams have been showing us so far. But I gotta say, I mean, what a way to wake up, right, Godfather? I mean, within a match this intense.
For sure. Apologies, my brother is wondering why I'm up and wants to play video games with me, and I'm saying, no, I am watching the video games instead. I cannot join you guys. Oh gosh, this is fun. You know what, I was going to mention, not once have we seen crits. Where's the crits? Bring, you know, let there be crits, as they say, and just have the fastest blazing time possible on offense. Daybreak just gotta go for it. They're running Flog here, so perhaps crits on a different point. You could crits onto 4th for sure. I feel like that would be pretty powerful.
I mean, if you're running
crits
Flog, crits on this point's not too awful, because you're running the Flog first to get their force out, and then you have crits against no Uber, which is a pretty decent situation.
Well, you run Flog for second. You play Swiftwater. You don't care about the first point really at all. except to build up your flog and make
Oh,
sure
yeah,
no
sorry,
one
second
dies on
point.
defense. Yeah, second point is the flog point for sure. Oh, Ghosty almost going down there. Would have been terrible. The spy goes in. Actually, no, the scout goes in. Joe out of nowhere. Can't do the job there. And down goes the Pyro, dying to the gun. So now the flog completely out of the question because you lose all that time that you built up on it. Cranky is behind right now, looking for a play on the combo as they try to escape, and they get Lisa. That's a big find there, opening up some space. And is that okay? Sequence was pressuring tunnel for a bit, but now, excuse me, rotating around, and we're still on flog. That's the misplay. That's what the people who run the funny strat don't understand. Once you don't have flog anymore, it's better to just run stock and try to take the momentum faster. Now they have to wait and build up this flog, which will take a fair bit of time. And we do have 100% conch on the defense, so we might see the soldier jumping up to play with the combo in connector. A couple of frags going in favor of the defense here.
Yeah, I mean, at this
Oh,
stage,
look at
it's
this!
just...
What did I say? What did I say? The soldier
Exactly
jumping
what
up
you
to
thought.
play, and there's the conch. I'm too good, dude.
Bit premature, though, honestly. Maybe
can
they're
hold it.
expecting the conch to come there. He can?
Yeah, he's just holding it. He hasn't popped it yet, see?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, I
if
thought I
you,
heard the horn.
fun fact, that's... Yeah, no, you hold the... So what you do, you take out your secondary, you blow the horn, and then you just hold it. You don't switch weapons. You, like, literally hold mouse 1. And then, once you're ready, you just switch weapons, and the conch gets popped.
There's the bait conch. They think the conch has already come out. They finally got the flog, though, so... you know, he's going to be able to flog defenses or Uber defend it.
Flog versus conch, and here's the flog. It's coming in now. They got to make sure this one counts. They don't go for the death. The flog is not finding too much. They do get unforgiven. The Uber and the conch both come in, so I guess that's the force they were waiting for. I would have just kited that a little bit harder. Keep your med out of the range of the flog. Also, why no debt on the pyro when they come through apartments?
I don't know.
They just walk over the traps.
I don't know.
But he does swap. He does swap off of Flog, so this is good. This is exactly what they need. Now they're going to pop through, have the Air Blast in hand. They're not bringing too many players forward, though, trying to just burn down this pyro if possible, and will do so successfully. Cranky does die. The cart just barely out of tunnels, but they're doing so much work. Sub kind of struggling, but somehow holding on will be this red defense. A lot of weak players, so an opportunity to build up that Uber a bit faster.
Just a really, really good kite of the Uber from them. I don't know what happened to the soldier there, but he wasn't there to support them with conch at any of those stages. Looks like they didn't really need it from. You know, it's been 5 years, 6 years I've been playing this game, and I learn something new every day holding the conch. But it looks like they're going to have to pull out anyway. It's just a really good post fight comes out of Daybreak.
For sure, this cap's going to come through. Sedna might want to make a play going for the decloak right there. I think he got heard by the engineer, but he's going to escape. Some good movement there by the spy. Looking dagger will let him reset safely. Sniper's peeking from up top. He's going to pick off the gun before it can get really set up from that window, but Joe immediately on his chase, picking him off. Should be an IT push coming in from Daybreak.
Looks like it's short. 3 minutes for the first 2 points. It's not the best of time, not the worst of time either. Definitely something when you're setting the time for, you know, the grand final, something you want to be a little bit stronger, but not something you'll be too unhappy with. The Uber has come out, however, for the offending team.
Yeah, doing their best for the offensive team. That was the Uber. Sub has held on to it, and it'll be a question of how well they can find that pop onto Sub, if at all, really. Oh, well, there's the Uber. They're going to take this aggressively. Sincere did go down. Can they pick up a rag? Not any damage connecting onto that offensive medic. Cranky's alive and onto the sniper or the heavy. Here's the decloak going for the sniper, picking off Lisa. The collapse comes in onto him immediately, though. Actually, wait, he lives? Now he doesn't live. There we go. Unforgiven picking him up. I was very concerned. Rag is
Unforgiven
down.
got him 300 milliseconds. Rag
Yeah,
did die.
that's funny. Yeah, Naver just walks forward and hits 3 rockets. Nice job there. 155 up on the high ground. Has to back away to those silos and do his best to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, now again, Sub with that Uber advantage, you know, just keep him alive, keep him safe, like where he is right now, make sure Crankle stays off him, and you've got more time to delay here. That is one failed push from the offense. The longer they can keep on each one of these points, the better it's looking for Ambulas.
defensive sniper has been eliminated. A nice pick there by the Spy. Pressuring the point here is the Pyro. No one really committing to stopping him except the Spy comes forward, but the Pyro will live long enough, and that is a big misplay by this defense from Ambulas. The fatigue might be showing as medic. Oh, narrowly avoids death, but not for long. Jazzy was waiting in the back line. That is a drop. Confirmed there by Jazzy. Nice play as the demo heavy also both down. Opportunity for Daybreak here.
I mean, if that 5 minutes is not a bad time at all, they can be pretty happy with that, given how long they could have taken there. I mean, it's just a case if Ambulance loses, that's that hold where they're going to be kicking themselves, because they really could have held that for so much longer. And losing sub there as well is going to make this fourth so much harder to hold.
Uber is almost full for the offense. Got to be careful with the bomb. That soldier now eliminated. A lot of good damage though. Rag has to pop down to 27 health before getting in there. Sub narrowly avoiding the damage. He's will die actually now in the end to the counter snipe and add back in favor of the defense once again. But they're going to lose their NG. The heavy just respawning. No pick glasses. Got to be careful with that sniper peeking from the garage door shutter. Oh, just narrowly missing the angle onto the sniper. Here's the soldier jumping forward, trying to keep the players off the cart. Not as successful as they'd like to be. It's a 100% Uber. Unforgiven is going to try to stop the cart. He's getting fairly close. He does secure it in the end. Great job there. But what's happening around the combo? Sub is 19 health, has to pop out. And can they chase down these frags? Doesn't look like it.
During that fight, a soldier got sent to the skybox by the engineer. Had to mention that one. Scout is contesting card. Oh my god, they just aren't letting it up at all. Just immediate re-aggression.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. The re-aggression comes through. They aren't able to find too much damage onto the combo, but they have found 4 frags themselves. Rag is sub 20 health right now. Has to be very careful. Send this in the back line, but isn't in a position for the revolver shots, and the sandwich comes through to keep Rag alive. And Cody not respawned yet. That's 4 points in 7:03. So a pretty slow time, but still doable, especially if they can keep the gears going and the momentum flowing.
I mean, Ambulance themselves last push. Ambulance themselves last. I'm going to just ignore it and keep going for your dignity, you know? Ambulance last time setting a 9-minute offense, so, 7 minutes on this side isn't the worst in the world. Daybreak know they can definitely hold this for much, much longer. As long as they get it through sometime very soon, then they're not looking at an awful situation for this grand finals. But, I mean, they really need to get things going.
Yeah, if this cap takes too long, then it's pretty much confirmed for Ambulas, but we've seen stranger things. Just pressing tab real quick, it looks like Blue Sniper, it hasn't been able to really find their rhythm on this point, and thus haven't been having many points. But here is the Uber coming in, the demo getting sent everywhere but where he wants to be, but this cart continues to be pushed forward. The Uber was expended by the red team as well, dropping a couple on both sides, but Sequence is dead, means no offensive demo. If that gun can come back up, it's going to be a mini on the high ground. A couple of frags being found. Lisa picks up their 4th. Gotta be careful, though, not to go down just like that to the sniper. And now, Blue can keep this cart rolling forward. Sincere in a great position. No one really touching the point quite yet. The Pirate now coming forward. They need to pick up this medic as well if they go in, but it's just the Pirate. They're going to cap it in 8:30. And that'll be the time to beat.
Not the best time, but they've proven they can hold for longer than this. So, I mean, at this stage, it's still anyone's game so far. Cody just constantly floating players every single time an Uber comes through. He decides, nope, I want you in the skybox instead. Probably really annoying for anyone who actually tries to jump inside the Uber.
Yeah, pretty much. You hate to see it. We'll have the setup on second for the defense. Contra being run by Naver, something he's been pretty confident with on this map, at least. And doesn't look like any flog being used, so pretty good choices all around. And yeah, it literally all comes down to this. Not often I get to say that.
Yeah, not too much, honestly. I mean, this is one of those. This is not just a map that's gone to be ridiculously close, but something that was just so unexpected. We thought this would all be completely one side for Ambulance. It's not been. Daybreak so close to taking it home and keeping Kaleido on top, and Ambulance just a little bit further to go before they get another first place badge for their team.
For sure, and doors are now open. The sack wave coming forward. 155's lurking.
It's Ghosty going down really quickly there, but Sequence traded for. I mean, this isn't the worst situation if they get back up fast. It's It's much
Yeah,
better to push
155
the
is gonna-
opponents without, like, getting...
Yeah. 155 dying there, not too big of a problem. I'm more, you know, just concerned about how they're going to want to take this forward. That conch, not built up at all for the offensive spy. Going for the decloak, terrible play. Sorry, I'm just ruthless right now. That was a bit of a misplay, a bit of mistiming by the spy. But it'll result in Ambulas taking that first point. 4 points, 740. Definitely doable.
The Ubers have come out now outstanding this place. The traps still haven't been dead at all. Finally dead on nothing. But, you know, a little
The
bit of
best
momentum
traps are the Uber forced. Oh, that's in the bottle. Unforgiveness gets bottled down, and now he's gonna get the
the bottle.
Oh, Racket's a sock kill on Senna. Wait, that's. Oh wait, was he disguised? Does that not give Uber? Oh, he was disguised. Oh,
tragic for them.
That would have been huge for the medic there, but no Uber given.
Still not an awful situation. No central gun up for the defenders here, but they still do, and no Uber advantage either. Just a little bit of advantage on the side of blue, on the offense, because Ambulas did have that first pop. So now Ambulas have a chance to get things through here if they can act reasonably and effectively. Cart slowly moving closer, about to leave the tunnel.
Yeah, I think 155 is a bit confused in the backline there. Spy hunting, but Deathbringer keeping Sedna alive. Cranky does go down. Cart out from the tunnel now. Jazzy jumps forward, tries to find some damage, doesn't get it. Is that DH? That's DH on the blue soldier. And the Uber is popped in now. It's the low ground. And it gets nothing. Dispenser goes down. Big play there. Here's a bomb for the soldier. Gets the medic. A big find there. Just leading my frames as fast as the medic goes down. And that'll be a build push yet again from this offense.
I mean, not the worst play to do the under Uber, but I mean, there needs to be cart being pushed at the same time. They had only Ubered players on the cart. Cart didn't move a centimetre forward during that. Just a really easy counter Uber defense. And because the medic goes down as well, that's going to be Uber advantage for Daybreak on the defenders.
For sure, the Uber ad here going to be pretty big. Cranky in position, just watching, lurking in the background. Trying to, oh, and he walked into a scout. And lives. Impressive. Are we still seeing DH on the offensive soldier? No, black box now? Okay, we are playing weapon roulette in the last round of grand finals. Maybe not the best play, but here's a bit of aggression coming in through apartments. Lisa's posting up, looking for a headshot as the Pyro wants to come forward, but eating a couple of pipes here and there is not good for your health. Cranky in position, gets caught immediately by the Pyro, and it'll be 100% Uber now for this medic. Well, 99, now 100%. This card rolling forward a bit.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, we've already seen the... wow, I've completely lost my train of thought.
It becomes in. Oh, that's a bit of a misplay. Red team dropped too many players down onto the cart and now have to vacate the high ground entirely. And this is maybe an opportunity for Ambulas to continue pushing forward. They're going to take this point. They don't pick up many frags with it. That was just an unfortunate thing to see. You drop your Pyro and your Heavy down onto the cart to try to stop it, and then there's no one in on the Uber to stop the Uber that comes through connector, and thus the point is lost. There's Sequence picking up a couple more frags there.
I mean, this is a little bit of a slower time now for Ambulas' offense than they did on their defense for those first 3 points, but 4 minutes left. There's still plenty enough time to get through this, but they can't afford to dawdle on any of these points.
Yeah, there's no time to waste, really. You want to have as much time to try to siege that last point as possible. Here is a play through IT. The engineer is dead on defense. The spy in position gets caught immediately. That was a beautiful ragdoll, but the medic is, oh so deleted by Ghosty, who in turn dies. But the Uber forced now by the blue team. I think that was just to keep their medic alive. They're going to try to cap this point out as quickly as possible here as they pick up the Pyro at the end as well.
Still not done, but Heavy's still in.
Sub dies to the spy!
Oh no.
Uber ad for defense. Who would have thought that could happen?
Not I, clearly. And clearly not anyone in the chat as well, you know, they've got no idea what's been going on here, clearly. But I mean, 3.5 minutes left for this defense. There's definitely a shot here. They just hold this a little bit longer, get the medic up, get the super advantage, and stuff 1 or 2 point pushes on this point, and then get a decent last, and they've won this grand finals.
I have no idea who's going to win at this point. This has been so back and forth, and so many great plays, so many misplays. It's just the momentum swings like a metronome at this point. Cranky getting caught out there by Cho, and a nice shot there by the defending sniper, Bliss, Piss, whatever. You know, unknown characters picking up another kill. But this card's going to keep moving forward, 2:40 on the clock, and Lisa dead, no offensive sniper, even better for Daybreak now.
Slowly by slowly, it keeps inching forwards. The Uber's still being held by Rag, but it's fast coming up for Sub. As long as he stays alive, they can get a push off here. If they get this push through, they have basically
Cranky.
a minute and a half.
Cranky picks up the demo, dying to the heavies, but Zenda finds a sniper on the other side of things, a couple down on the combo of the blue team. Since I love it when heavies are just like, oh no, there's a sniper, time to spin, and they just turn up their DPI and flick their mouse around. It's just disorienting when you're on their POV by accident. But looking at the Ubers, 158 to play. We are full Uber for either side. Sub needs to not die here. The sniper SVS is being looked at, not found quite yet. There it is. Lisa goes down. Dive onto cart. Results in Sub going so weak, but Rag is one to actually die on the other side of things. The Uber is expended just in time, and Rag will drop. Very, very close death on both sides. Very close death on one side, but close death on the other. 1:30 on the clock, and positioning is questionable for the defense. Not
Highlander
sure.
does
Okay,
pull out
they
the
are
sentry
gonna get
gun
out.
though. He has a level 3 on La.
That's
Or
gonna be
he
big.
will
That's
if he
like one of
survives.
If he lives, it's one of the first times we've actually gotten to see that on this last hold. 1:15. It's definitely doable. It is coming down to the wire here, though. In the third map of the grand finals, 1-1 is the score, and we have 1 minute left to see what will happen here. The gun eating a little bit of damage, getting actually not eating any damage. The Pyro doing their best to stop it. Scout on cart will get to leave immediately. Sincere going forward. A couple of frags being found by the defense. 3 go down with 10-second respawn times. Might be best to just hold off and regroup here for the offense, but knowing what I've seen so far, it looks like Sub wants to pop the super forward, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Coming in, we don't quite have on the defense the Pyro doing his best to stop. Will do a good job, but eventually going down. Now this medic has to live a little bit while longer. The cart getting pretty close, but the Spy doing his best to stop it on cart. Good job there. 100% Uber now in hand for the red team, and only 3 alive on offense too, as one more falls. The engineer botting for the point. Won't find it. 20 seconds to go, and a dream for Daybreak to come home with this win, and that'll be Kaleidos continuing the streak as well if this is successful. 100% Uber, I'd expect the pop soon.
10 seconds left. I mean, this is right down to the wire. Players forward, the pop has come out now. They can just stand on point.
All the spies on cart? All the spies on cart? Yeah, there's nothing that can be done. Daybreak will be your RSL Season 8 Asia Highlander Grand Finals winner. And well done to both teams in a spectacular finish. I mean, we've seen overtimes galore, and taking it to 3 maps, 3 rounds on every map. This was just beautiful to cast.
Yeah, that was just about as close as it can possibly get.
That is kind of crazy. From 155, that is, and following that up in terms of frags, 54 from his sniper and 53 from sequence. Just so many kills going that. But the damage is handily in favor of sequence, who found 506 compared to Ghosty's 464. I mean, both of those great stat lines, but sequence coming out on top of that stat at least.
And really, there was not much Ambulance really could have done, but they gave it the best shot they possibly could have, getting it to go all 3 rounds. And, you know, yeah.
And a movie finish, you know, just making that come down to the very end. Looking at the medic stats, Sub with about 100 more healing per minute, but 5 drops to 3 drops, and Rag had more Ubers. So I don't know. I don't think it was definitely a medic diff. I think there were plenty of other players putting in a ton of work there. Yeah, that was a crazy series. I can't wait to rewatch this on YouTube. I mean, it was a fun one to cast. I think you realize that I was having a great time throughout. And there's other ways that you guys can follow along. You can go check out our Twitter follow us there for plenty of updates. Join the Discord as well. There are movie nights, and that's a great place to keep up to date with when casts are going live, etc. And if you want to do a bit more of direct financial support, check out the incredible merch. There's posters, masks, shirts, all sorts of great stuff on the merch store, as well as a Patreon. But with that, thank you all so much for watching. This has been RSL's Highlander Asia Season 8 Grand Final. It was Ambulas versus Daybreak. Daybreak taking it in a fantastic finish on the third map, third round. My name's Godfather. Was joined by Luggnuts on the mic, Corby behind the scenes. Have a great night.
Hi, old beaver! Away!